Well, happy Friday. Friday morning early. It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake off today. My name is Mike Wicketts. Hopefully you're having a good start to your day. Maybe it's a good end to your day. If you're our friends on the West Coast, I'm broadcasting live from the middle of the country in the Flyover Country Studios in my basement in Des Moines, Iowa. We've got our producer, Addie Bates, on the East Coast in D.C. Our board operator, Laura Jimenez, is on the West Coast in L.A. So we got all the time zones covered. And if you were lucky enough to stay up late last night, I guess late would be relative to where you are, but you got to watch, and I don't feel bad about saying this, the greatest Hall of Fame game in the history of preseason football. Damn, that was fun. And you know, I know there are people who put this out on social media right around June or July, and I'm guilty of it as well. And they say, gosh, I would kill for a Panthers-Cardinals football game right now. And we got it last night. And I had people last year, week one of the college football season, Buddy and I were football junkies, and we're getting ready for, do you remember Bill Belichick's first game as the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels? And they were playing TCU week one last year. And my neighbor's like, why do you guys care? And we said, it's football. You only get finite amount of games throughout the regular season. And then we get into like week 18 of the NFL season. And those games were brutal to watch. But I watched them. And now you get into the bowl games. And not like the college football playoff, but the other bowl games. Like the Music City Bowl, the Motor City Bowl, whatever. And people were like, why are you watching that? Because it's football, and you only get... Tell me that last night, the game-winning touchdown scored by Carolina's backup quarterback, Haynes King, coming down the field in the final 2 minutes of a football game against Arizona, led by Carson Beck. Tell me that wasn't exactly what you needed last night. Tell me that was not 100% what the doctor ordered.
Game on the line. King, he's going to step up. Pumps, runs, goal line. Is he in? Yes! Carolina wins! Haynes King, king of the night.
Look at him.
Whole team's out there mobbing him.
It's party time in Canton, Ohio. I tell you what, he pulled it out, didn't he? I mean, when he had to have it, take off and run. Let's go to your top skill. And he got it done. Completed great passes.
That's so cool.
Love it. Great night in Canton.
I have absolutely no idea if that is the greatest preseason football game of my life, the call on NBC and Peacock. But I can't imagine there being a more exciting, more dramatic, better preseason football game than what we got last night. Scoreless after one. Both teams scored 17 points in the second quarter. A little boring in the third, but then there were more fireworks in the fourth. The star of this one for Carolina, Haynes King. You might remember Haynes King if you're a fan of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. He was their quarterback last year. Wasn't called on to throw a whole heck of a lot. Last night, though, 21-34 for a $180, 2 touchdowns, and scored the game winner, ran it in with 2 seconds left.
Yeah, we were trying to get dig post action on one side, and we had one-on-one on the other. Dropping back, and it just kind of parted, and I was going to try to extend the play because, obviously this is the last play of the game. It just kind of parted, and the linebacker started closing space, and I was like, I can get around him, and that's what happened, and score the ball.
Kenny Pickett was your starter yesterday for Carolina. 8 of 11, 62 yards. Both guys will be backing up Bryce Young when we get to the regular season. A bunch of guys you've never heard of had a bunch of yards and a bunch of plays. But this one was all about just excitement for me. This one was about getting football back. I wouldn't have cared if last night's final was 6-3. Just getting football back, turning it on, hearing Tirico, hearing Collinsworth, seeing the players, like all the stars sat, all the best players. No Tedero McMillan, none of Carolina's best players, none of Arizona's best players. You weren't getting you didn't see Jeremiah Love. You didn't see any of their really great players, and you didn't see Marvin Harrison Jr. I kid. I'm sure this will be the year that he turns it around. But it was awesome last night just to watch football and to see the game come down to the end. And here's how I know football is back. I had a 2-leg parlay last night. Addy, my 2-leg parlay was simple. It was boosted in one of the 9 books I have on my phone. It was Arizona to score multiple touchdowns and win. And I had the multiple touchdowns thing done by halftime, and I had the Arizona win with 2 minutes to go. And that's how I know football is back. When I lose my 2-leg parlay on the final play of the game when a third-string quarterback runs it in.
No. I think we need to say what kind of game this was. This was the Hall of Fame game that we're betting on right now.
This is it.
The Hall of Fame game.
Yes, we're betting. Listen, when you're a degenerate with 9 betting apps on your phone and you got nothing else to do besides, watch football. Look, I had already won a WNBA play earlier in the night, so I kind of rolled it over into the Hall of Fame game. I swear, 1-800-BETS-OFF. I swear, I don't have a I swear, I don't. I don't. But did you stay up for the whole game, Addie? I know I was texting you late, but you were going to getting ready to go to bed because this is your normal shift. I'm just a fill-in guy.
Yeah, no, I stayed up for the first half, and then it was I tucked myself into bed, and I was singing, night-night lullabies to myself. No, I did not stay for the whole game, so of course that means I got to wake up a little earlier, look at the recap and everything, and see that Carson Beck actually did something. So. Carson
Beck was really good. We'll get to him in a second, but I want to wrap up talking about Carolina because Dave Canales and this team, they've been working on a couple of – I think Dave Canales, the head coach of the Panthers, and to our friends in Carolina, I love you, but I think your head coach, despite winning the division last year, Dave Canales is on the hot seat. Dude's got a losing record, won 8 games last year, had a losing record last year, and because the NFC South sucks, the Panthers went to the playoffs because that division is so bad. There was a lot of stuff they were working on, he said, including finishing football games.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Just the back and forth of it, a really good game. Mike LaFleur, somebody that I've known for a long time, really doing a good job with that group. They ran the ball really well today. But the guys were resilient, and finish is what we talk about. Finish is what we preach as a team. We practice for these situations, end a half, end a game, put us in the best, use the timeouts, move the ball. Haynes did a fantastic job just keeping the play alive. Whatever you had to do, run it, throw it, doesn't matter. Move the chains and keep it alive. So really proud of the group.
You can't, and I'm going to make sure I back myself up here again. Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll here on the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. You can always jump in. You can call or text 310-840-4910. Hit me up on social media. I'm at Mike Wickett. There's 2 T's in Wickett. Every single thing that we are talking about when it comes to Carson Beck, who we'll get to, who was really good in the second quarter. When we're talking about Haynes King running in the game-winning touchdown. When we're talking about all these guys and the feeling and the excitement, a giant grain of salt, right? Like, we can't, as excited as I was to see football back, as excited as we all were to get a good game, a good finish, if you stayed up till the end. If you didn't, I understand. It was a preseason game. That's the caveat to all of this. This is still preseason football, okay? So not that Arizona is going to be any good this year. Arizona has a legitimate chance to be 0-13. If you've seen their schedule, they have a legit 0-13 schedule in front of them. And I'm not trying to be an Arizona Cardinal hater. You can ask John Lund, one of our coworkers here who's in the desert, when he does a show on Saturday nights, often fills in for Drake here on Westwood One. That schedule is awful for Arizona. They start out at L.A., then Seattle, then San Francisco, then they go to New York and play the Giants. That going across the country is always tough. We know that. Detroit, the Rams, the Broncos, at Dallas, at Seattle, L.A., at Kansas City, Washington, Philly, then the bye week. That's legit 0-11. That is a legit 0-11 last night. So I think last night's game for Arizona was their last legitimate chance to get a win of a meaningful football game. I mean, there are other 2 preseason games. They have 3 preseason games because, again, this was the Hall of Fame game. They get the Raiders, they get the Cowboys, they get the Packers. You take what you can. I mean, the wins don't really matter. I understand that in the preseason. So everything we are talking about comes with a giant grain of salt. But the overwhelming feeling of excitement of getting a win was big. And even Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, when he was asked, did you think about kicking a field goal and going for a tie last night?
Not a chance, not for a second. No ties, no overtime in the preseason. 4 downs the whole way. Brad knew it. And that kind of is why the nature of some of the calls came out at the end there, because we knew we had an extra down to play with.
Some of us would have taken a push if you would have kicked the field goal and their 2-leg parlay might have been a put. Never mind. I digress. Over on the Arizona side, if you're a Cardinals fan, and I don't know any Cardinals fan who is excited for Jacoby Brissett and the Jacoby Brissett era, okay? This is one of the dumbest, weirdest holdouts in the history of the National Football League when Brissett was holding out with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Arizona drafted Carson Beck in the 3rd round. He was in college for like 9 years, I feel like. He was at Georgia for a while. He was at Miami last year. He and the U went to the national championship game, and they took him in the 3rd round. You know, there was a time a couple of years ago when the mock drafts were coming out at this point of the college football season. Carson Beck was the number 1 pick in the draft, according to some experts, and didn't have a real good junior year or 3rd junior year or 4th senior season. He was in college for a while. But they take him in the 3rd round, and I do believe, and I just read you Arizona's schedule. It is brutal. I'm telling you right now, Carson Beck is going to be the starter midway through the year. There's just no reason, if you're 0-6 or 1-7 or whatever it is, if you're Arizona, to keep the Jacoby Brissett facade going on. And we saw last night, albeit against a lot of 2nd and 3rd and 4th stringers, that Carson Beck might have something. Again, giant grain of salt. We all understand the caveat that comes here. But Carson Beck last night, he was 15 of 19 for 188 yards and a touchdown. He was very, very efficient. And his head coach, Mike LaFleur, not to be confused with the head coach of my Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur. It's his brother, Mike LaFleur, was asked about Carson Beck's performance.
It'd be a broken record. The same thing that I keep seeing at practice, where he just gets in and out of the huddle and he doesn't make it too big. He just lives by the play. Again, I give a lot of credit to Hack, but really, particularly Schaub, in terms of just the way Schaub played was that. He worried about one play at a time and executing that play and going through your progressions, not making stuff up. If it's not there, checking it down. If we're in a bad play, a bad call, don't make it worse. Call the keeper, where we faked left, kept right back, and there was, 8 guys in his face, and I knew better than that. And I told him, I said, hey, if the strong safety comes off the edge, just get some depth and be ready to ditch this. And sure enough, and he was laughing at the top when he saw that strong safety. And, it's like, I wasn't laughing because it was a crap call, but man, he saved us, in terms of just ditching that right there. And that's the right play in that moment. So I was proud of the way he played, and it's a good first stepping stone for him.
I am not going to be surprised if Carson Beck's a pretty good NFL quarterback. Guy has all the experience in the world. He was highly touted coming out of high school, went to 2 major programs. It's not like Carson Beck went to Middle Tennessee State and then transferred to San Diego State. With all due respect to our friends at Middle Tennessee State and in America's finest city, he went from Georgia to Miami. Pretty damn good. And he took Miami, along with that great defense, to the national championship game. He's played in some huge football games. And so he was good last night. By the way, when he refers to Schaub in that soundbite, Mike LaFleur is talking about Matt Schaub, the former NFL quarterback who's now the QB coach in Arizona. Here's Carson Beck himself. Again, playing well.
I thought the whole time our offense was moving well. Obviously, you got to go look back at the film, and there's probably some, minute details that we can clean up and fix up, but I thought we moved the ball well. The offensive line played really well. There was zero pressure. Again, guys were out there making plays, making contested catches. Running backs were fighting for extra yards. And then the operation was just so good. Just getting in and out of the huddle. A couple false starts, but things that you can fix up. Again, I thought overall it was really clean.
It was the most entertaining Hall of Fame game I've ever seen in my entire life. It was one of the best preseason. I don't even know what this means. It was one of the best preseason games I've ever seen in my entire life. 33-30, Panthers win. They beat the Cardinals in Canton. Haynes King, the 3rd-string quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, runs the ball in with 2 seconds left before the snap. Arizona had just scored. King and company go down the field. King had a big 40-yard run to set everything up inside the red zone. It was a great game. It was great to get football back, man. It was awesome to get football back. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. You can call. You can text. We'd love to get your thoughts on it. We got a lot of football to get to today. A whole lot of football to get to today. Still to come, guys getting paid at a spot we didn't used to pay people. We'll get to that next. Mike Wickett here on the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports.
The stories that matter.
is Tanner Thomas. Long balls. That ball had a family, a wife, 4 kids, living in the suburbs.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person.
It's the Drake Toll Show here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One app. You can tell your smart speaker, hey, Alexa, play Westwood One. Also, hello if you're listening all over America and Canada, hundreds of radio stations, the SiriusXM app, and SiriusXM Channel 375. The Westwood One app is free. You can download it. My name is Mike Wickett, in for Drake Toll. Drake off today. He is back on Monday. And from what I have been told by our producers and our board operator for Addie Bates and Laura Jimenez, you guys call this show the Greg D. Troll Show. Is that right? Not the Drake Toll Show. Is that right, Addie, Laura? Is that right?
Laura, you can take this one.
No, callers, the chat.
Oh, the callers call it the Greg D. Troll Show, not the Drake C. Toll Show. Okay, make sure I write that. I'll put that in my post-show notes.
We just repeat what our callers and our
Right.
listeners
Right.
want.
They're right. The listener is always correct, okay?
Exactly. It's like a customer at a restaurant. The listener is always correct. That's probably right. 310-840-4910, the phone number. You can call, you can text on last night's Hall of Fame game. Is this a fair statement? I'm going to go around the room. And I know maybe, Addie, you went to bed a little early. Laura, I don't know if you were up. You're on the West Coast. Addie's on the East Coast. I'm smack dab in the middle in Des Moines, Iowa. The Hall of Fame game was better than the Super Bowl. The Hall of Fame came down to the final play, and a guy ran it in. The Super Bowl was terrible. I think the Hall of Fame game was a better game, more entertaining for us, the fans, than the Super Bowl actually was. Addie, your thoughts?
1,000%. Yes, we had 2 teams, 2 quarterbacks who, again, I said it earlier in the show. I was shocked. Maybe I was the only one that Carson Beck, for his first NFL outing out there, was able to go and look the way he did. But yes, they blew the Super Bowl out of the water. Remember the Super Bowl? I'm like, oh man, I hope the Patriots remember how to play football at some point, right?
They did not, though. And actually, the last 2 Super Bowls have not been as good as the Hall of Fame game last night. Because Philly's, I remember watching the Philly
Don't tell the
Kansas.
networks that.
Well, I know. You telling me that Jalen Hurts versus Mahomes is a sexier matchup than Haynes King and Carson Beck and Kenny Pickett and Keaton Slovis?
Oh, yeah. I woke up excited to talk Haynes King and Carson Beck. That's my reason for breathing this morning.
Yes, and it should be. And it should be. By the way, for your fantasy drafts, of all those quarterbacks, you should draft none of them. Don't draft any of them. There's not a quarterback that played last night that should be on your fantasy team unless you're in a very deep dynasty league and you want to put Carson Beck on your bench and maybe he becomes something in 2027. But I remember watching Mahomes and Hurts 2 years ago, and I may have had money on Mahomes and the Chiefs. And I just remember watching Philadelphia treat Kansas City the same way that Seattle treated New England last year and just beat them to a pulp. And by the middle of the third quarter, partially because of my bet, but more importantly, I was like, come on, can we just have a good Super Bowl? Can this be good into the fourth quarter? And neither game was any good. And no matter what Mahomes and Taylor Swift's boyfriend at the time did, and no matter what Drake May and his terrible offensive line did, they had nothing. They had nothing for Philly and Seattle. Last night, fireworks left and right in Canton, Ohio. It's crazy.
It was, hey, at least for the Patriots in the Super Bowl, it was very much like they didn't hear no bell. They didn't hear a bell. There was no bell.
They couldn't hear a bell. They were getting their ass kicked so bad they lost their hearing. They couldn't hear a bell. Seattle was like, we only need to rush 4. All right, we're going to beat up your rookie right tackle, and we got this. It's no big deal. But last night was fantastic. It was drama. It was excitement. And we didn't even get some of the more attractive running backs. You know, with Carolina, there's the dual threat or the dual running back. You've got Chuba Hubbard, who some people were really down on last year after he got paid, and Jonathan Brooks coming off yet another ACL injury. That's going to be a good running back backfield battle to watch. Maybe that's probably going to frustrate you. Again, speaking of fantasy, if you draft one of those guys, the other one is always going to get the touches. It does not matter who you start. It's always going to work out that way. And then over on the other side, I mean, last night we saw Bam Knight. Nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows who Evan Hall is. All these nobodies running the football for Arizona because we're all excited to see Jeremiah Love. And I thought Tyler Algier was going to be RB1. And then Arizona made the worst draft pick, not the worst player. Jeremiah Love might wind up being the best player in the upcoming, out of this NFL draft. But Jeremiah Love was the absolute worst possible pick for Arizona to make at number 3. When you're as bad as Arizona is going to be, and they are devoid of talent. They've got, Trey McBride is special. Michael Wilson's pretty damn good. Marvin Harrison has been an absolute bust so far. But your quarterback room is Jacoby Brissett, Keaton Slovis, and Carson Beck. You're not winning a lot of games. I don't know what the over-under is. I think it's 3.5. I could be wrong about that. Addie, can you check on the win total in the books for Arizona? They're not winning a lot of games. You could legitimately see, and I've gone through their schedule a bunch. 0-11 is a real possibility. 0-13 is not that unrealistic when it comes to Arizona. And when you're that bad of a team, adding a running back at that spot does you absolutely no good other than sell jerseys. That is the one thing. When you're getting to be good, that's when you add the running back. And in 2 years, there might be a special running back coming out of the college game that could help Arizona. But they're going to, and I don't know who's going to get the carries. I don't know how it's going to get split up. But Arizona's backfield is a mess with Jeremiah Love and Tyler Algier and James Conner. I know Trey Benson got banged up earlier this week, so maybe he's on his way out, second, third-year player out of Florida State. But it's like you watch these running back battles, and you're just like, what's the plan here? What would you say is the plan here? And the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Mike LaFleur, not Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur, he's a big fan of the word depth.
One of the coolest words outside of consistency that coach hears is depth. And so that's a good thing right now. Unfortunately, a running back room, hopefully not this year, but there is an attrition there at times because of the pounding those guys take. So you want to be able to divvy that thing up. Now, you can't have everybody up on game day because of obviously the roster limitations right there. But if we can split it up, keep it fresh, have a third down back, like we're not at that point, but that's the perfect world. And we'll see what's the best thing, going into September.
So who's going to get the football? If you're the Arizona Cardinals, who's going to get the rock out of that backfield? More from Mike LaFleur.
Just like if Steph Curry's on fire and he's supposed to get his sub, you're not taking the hot hand out. And that's kind of the same approach you end up taking with a back. Like a back, just like a basketball player or any football player can get into a rhythm. It's like just keep giving him the football. Like he's just feeling it right now. So, again, hopefully at some time all those guys are going through that flow and they're kind of in that zone right there.
Did he just compare Jeremiah Love, Tyler Algier, James Conner, and or Trey Benson to Steph Curry? Did he really do that? You don't have a Steph Curry yet. Jeremiah Love might be a Steph Curry, but you don't have a Steph Curry quite yet. And again, from a fantasy perspective, I'm not touching that backfield unless I got Jeremiah Love at 1.1 in my dynasty draft, because there's a reason they didn't just release James Conner. There's a reason they paid Tyler Algier. And I think Trey Benson's going to be the guy they let go. Maybe he can resurrect his career somewhere else. But that is going to be one of the most frustrating quarterback rooms in all of the National Football League for you if you're a fantasy football player. So draft Cardinals at your own risk. And also don't forget, they're going to be behind in a lot of football games. Jacoby Brissett's going to throw the ball a lot. That's going to take carries away from any of that 3 or 4-headed monster. And their offensive coordinator, quick, name the Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator. I'll give you a hint. He's been a terrible head coach in the National Football League, in the AFC, in the AFC West. He was in Green Bay. Nathaniel Hackett is the offensive coordinator for Arizona and had this to say earlier during camp about Jeremiah Love.
I mean, he's definitely a rookie, and as we've talked about, and he'll keep growing every single day. I'm very excited for him. All those guys, not just him.
I like how he had to throw everybody else there. This is not what you want to hear about your star rookie running back that you drafted 3rd overall.
I mean, he's definitely a rookie.
That means he can't pass protect.
I mean, he's definitely a rookie.
That means he's not very good at keeping anybody off the quarterback.
I mean, he's definitely a rookie.
Not good. Side note real quick. how does Nathaniel Hackett keep getting jobs? There are certain coaches, certain coordinators that I'm just not sure. Like, how do you keep, like Matt Nagy is another one. Matt Nagy is going to ruin Jackson Dart, okay? He's the offensive coordinator in New York. He ruined Mitch Trubisky, and Trubisky probably, was taken ahead of guys like Mahomes, and he was taken ahead of guys like, Deshaun Watson back when Watson was good. And they ruined Mitch Trubisky in Chicago. Now, I'm not saying he was going to turn into Joe Montana, but Matt Nagy does a really good job of neutering an offense. Look at the Chiefs' offense after Eric Bieniemy left. They bring Matt Nagy back the last 2 years. Mahomes has been a mid-quarterback. Now, I understand the personnel isn't great there in Kansas City, but then like John Harbaugh's first new big hire. Let's make sure Jackson Dart has the leader, the guy to get him ready for the next 10 years of his life, and we're going to bring him Matt Nagy? I don't understand. I digress. Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll here on the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. You can always jump in, 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. You can call, you can text that number as well. And speaking of running backs are getting paid, man. These running backs are getting absolutely paid. And it's so weird because about 2 or 3 years ago, the whole mantra was you don't pay running backs, right? You don't pay our running backs in the NFL. The injury risk is too high. We run tread off the tires so quick. They fall off a cliff. They lose their speed. They lose their burst. They lose their ability. And yet this week, we have seen like $200 million go out to 3 different running backs. And I'm not saying they're not worth it. It's just refreshing, I think, for a lot of us to look at Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, and Jahmyr Gibbs get these massive contracts. And good for these guys, man. I mean, if you're going to ask me, Wickett, who's the best player in the National Football League? Non-quarterback, because we always side with quarterbacks. It's hard for me to keep Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs off that list, right? I mean, Robinson, despite the fact that who was his offensive coordinator in Atlanta? Zach Robinson. Zach, if you're a fantasy player and you have Bijan Robinson on your team last year, how frustrated were you with every red zone carry? Always went to Tyler Algier. Always went to Tyler Algier. And that dude was such a bowling ball. He would knock people over. He's so big. So I thought it was a really good signing for Arizona at the time to make him RB1. And then they drafted Love. But even despite the fact that Zach Robinson hated your fantasy team so much that he gave the football to Algier in the middle of the red zone, he was still fantastic. Robinson still had 1,400 rushing yards. He almost had a 2,000-yard season last year, scored a whole bunch of touchdowns. Like, Bijan Robinson, in my mind, is the best player in the National Football League. Just turned 24 a couple of months ago and got paid. $22.25 million average salary, and set the goal, set the bar, and then like 12 hours later, it was Jahmyr Gibbs getting, 3 years? Okay, so Bijan got 3 at 75, and Jahmyr Gibbs got 3 at 75.75. Okay, whatever. But those are the two guys right there, man. That's a fun little rivalry between those two. You know, Bijan was drafted in 2023, 4 picks ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs. And both picks, you have to go back a couple of years and think about this. Both picks were under the old mind of thinking. We don't draft running backs. You don't pay running backs. You don't take a first-round running back. Are you kidding me? That's suicide. That hurts your franchise. Well, the Falcons landed on gold when they took Bijan Robinson, and it hasn't turned into a lot of playoff success. The Lions, as we know, have had one of the most exciting offenses the last couple of seasons, and a lot of that runs through Jahmyr Gibbs, and I expect he and Bijan to both have monster years running and catching the football this year. I'm really excited to see what Atlanta does with Stefanski as their head coach, how he's going to utilize Bijan now that Zach Robinson's the hell out of there. And then Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor did that weird thing where he got a second massive contract. Remember back in 2023, he wanted a trade and got a 3-year, $45 million deal. And then now gets another 2-year, $44 million deal. Nice, by the way, to have the money go up with fewer years. It kind of does show you what Indianapolis is thinking. Like, okay, we'll give you money because of what you've done. You've been one of the only true workhorse backs in the National Football League. He had 1,600 yards last year, and he's probably going to become the all-time leading rusher in Colts history, and he gets a 2-year deal. I don't know if he sees the end of that 2-year deal, but I'm going to bet he doesn't get a third deal worth $45-50 million as he has the last 2 years. And then you got Saquon, who's the 4th highest paid running back, and then McCaffrey and Ashan and Derrick Henry, Breece Hall. And Jeremiah Love is in the top 10 and has yet to take an NFL snap. You got to love that. So we got all these quarterback battles, but we have these running back battles going on as well. And guys are getting paid at a position we didn't value as recently as 2 or 3 years ago. Now you got guys getting paid, and good for them. Good for Bijan, good for Gibbs, good for Jonathan Taylor, and hopefully if you're a fan of those teams and those players, they have great years for you. Coming up, there are 2 incredible fan contests, not that we're running here on Westwood One Sports. One's in Philly, and one's in Akron, Ohio. Has nothing to do with LeBron James. One's in Philly, one's in Akron, Ohio. I want to tell you about, and want to invite you in right now. Have you ever won a really cool contest? Like a trivia is one thing, okay? I know our producer, Addie Bates, is a trivia maven. And that's one thing to win trivia contests, Addie. What's the coolest prize you ever got for winning one of your bar trivia contests, Addie?
Some
gift
Jello
card?
shots.
Yeah, okay.
Gift card.
Yeah, gift card for more beer.
I've won some cool contests outside of trivia. Don't you fear.
I want to hear about this. And I want people to jump in. If you're driving around, waking up early, third shift, first shift, haven't have your coffee yet, 310-840-4910. What is the coolest contest you have ever won? Maybe it was radio. Maybe it was a raffle. Maybe it was an auction. Whatever it is, you can call or text 310-840-4910. We'll get to that coming up next. Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll here on The Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. Hey, happy Friday to you wherever you might be all across this network, Westwood One Sports. I'm Mike Wickett, filling in for Drake Toll on the Drake Toll Show. By the way, do we know, Addie, Laura, do we know why Drake is off today? Are we allowed to say, if it's very personal, maybe I should have done this before we came back from break. Because people have asked me, I do weekends here on Westwood One. I do Saturday nights and Sunday nights from 7 to 11 Eastern time. And I got a tweet once. Someone said, what do you do during the week? And I said, I drive Uber around here in Des Moines, Iowa. And yesterday I was driving, I was going to pick up a family of 4 or whatever in South Des Moines. And I get this text from our boss, and it said, hey, can you fill in? All of a sudden, Drake has to be off tomorrow. And I'm at a light. I'm going 50 miles an hour. I'm trying not to text and drive. Fail. And I'm like, of course, I would love to fill in for Drake. I never found out why Drake's not here today. And if it's a personal thing, you can just say he's sick. But do we know why Drake's not here today?
It could be a myriad of things. It could be the fumes from his perm got to him.
Oh, my
So
God.
maybe he's just not here. There could be a lot of things going on here. He's a bit. Maybe he slipped on a. Yeah, he does have tummy. He could have slipped on a banana peel. He is a part of the Savannah Bananas.
Yes, that I know. Yeah.
So
yeah.
there could have been a lot of things going on over there. He lives.
Okay.
I mean, he does the show from an electric shed. It could have caught fire.
I would say Savannah storms.
We do not know.
Lightning.
We do
Is there
not
a
know.
hurricane down in Savannah that I did not hear about?
If there is, it probably involves rum and fruit punch. But
does he have a fitting for a new fur coat? Because I see him wear that on the broadcast all the time.
I told you there could be a lot of things going on. We're still trying to get to the bottom of it. We'll
Okay.
update you as we get information.
But yeah, let's get our crack staff on it. Either way, happy to be here. Reminder, if you're a football fan, the 2026 season's almost here. Experience the thrill of game day when you purchase tickets through the NFL's trusted and verified ticket partners. Buy your tickets today. What is the coolest contest you've ever won? 310-840-4910. I asked that because there are 2 contests, one that's done and one that's coming up, that I think are cool for fans. Listen to this play-by-play announcer for the Philadelphia Phillies.
One more to go tomorrow night, and then a 3-game set with the Blue Jays over the weekend. Now Painter delivers. It's a check swing. It's a called strike 3. He got him. So Ortiz down.
Sounds like a pretty darn good announcer, right?
There's a pitch that's lined over shortstop, a base hit for Dylan Cruz, and he reaches first base safely with a 1-out single.
I mean, it's not bad. Here's the thing.
Swung on and popped up into shallow left field, playable, and caught out there by Brandon Marsh, and that is the second out of the inning.
That's not the Phillies' normal broadcaster. That is not the guy who normally calls Philadelphia Phillies games. That is 73-year-old Lewis Kolb, who spent $22,000 in an auction and got to call an inning for the Philadelphia Phillies earlier this week. That guy sounds like, and this is not a knock on today's broadcasters, but today's baseball broadcasters all kind of sound the same. They're all very professional. They have the voice like this, and they're very nuts and bolts. Long gone are the days of the late Bob Uecker or Harry Carey or the great Vin Scully. You don't get those kinds of voices very much, and this guy sounds old school as hell.
Here comes a rise swings and a fly ball. Medium depth, left field. Lilly has it, and that'll do it.
I was blown away when he did the top half and the bottom half, and the bottom half there was actually a massive rainstorm. So they were you could tell they were trying to get the inning over, which sucks because the guy spent $22,000 on the auction, the charity auction. But I thought that was really cool to win that. And then here, the other one that I think is a really neat thing for fans. And again, you can jump in at 310-840-4910. You can text in as well. What's the coolest contest you've ever won? You can win this one in Akron. The Zips football season is kicking off in a few weeks. And you can enter to call the first drive on offense of the season Here's their athletic director.
We just kind of said, what's the craziest thing that we can do and get away with for our fans? This is an incredible experience for someone. We think this entire community is going to appreciate it. We just did not know that one tweet was going to be seen by over 13 million people in less than 24 hours. And now it's become a national phenomenon, and it's awesome. If you get the opportunity to do this, you're going to tell your children, they're going to tell their children, especially if they score a touchdown. It's going to be the most wonderful experience they've ever had.
Season ticket holders are automatically entered. You can enter at the Akron Zip site or whatever. But you just know, if it's a regular, Joe like you or me, what are the first 3 plays you're calling on offense? Fly pattern bomb, fly pattern bomb, fly pattern bomb. Ain't no way some keyboard warrior is winning this thing that lives in Ohio is like, yeah, we're going to call counter run on 3 and hit the A gap. No, we're not doing that. We're throwing the bomb on every play like it's NFL blitz. I love this contest. So you know, by the way, they play Robert Morris. Akron plays Robert Morris week 1. What an insult to Robert Morris. And I don't think Robert Morris is a very good team, Akron out of the MAC. But, if you're Robert Morris, you're like, wait a minute. The first drive, Steve from Sandusky, Ohio, gets to call the first drive against us? I would be pissed off. Addie, would you call any running plays if you got to call the first drive of the year for Akron?
Let me tell you what I would do, because I won all the time in Madden when I was a kid. It was the dumbest thing ever. As the center, I would just carry the ball. I would take it as a snap. Ready? And I would just go. I would just go. Me with my fat ass, just go all the way down, score a touchdown. They never saw it coming.
I would run every play from movies that I possibly could. I would run from Little Giants, the annexation of Puerto Rico. I would run the play when what's his name threw back in Necessary Roughness when Paul Blake hit Popke in the end zone. I would run every single play from a movie that I possibly could and see if any of those plays actually worked. What was the one from Any Given Sunday? Comanche. Near the end of the season with Al Pacino and they run the halfback toss. I would to Jamie Foxx. I would find the one from Friday Night Lights that didn't work for Permian High School. I'd run that play. I'd run every play from every movie. That would be what I would.
Boy, Bobby Boucher.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. 310-840-4910. Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll here on Westwood One. What is the coolest contest you've ever won? The guy won it, and he paid for it, but he won the auction to call an inning for a Phillies game. Akron's giving you a chance to call the first drive of the season. Let's go to Josh in Fort Worth. You're on Westwood One Sports. What's up, Josh? Good morning. What's the coolest contest you've ever won, Josh?
Hey, good morning. How are y'all?
All right. What's the coolest contest you've ever won?
Man, I won a trip to Dallas Cowboy training camp last year and got to have dinner with Michael Irvin.
Okay, that's really cool. Now, I'm a Packers fan, so I don't understand. Are fans not allowed at training camp? Because in Green Bay, they build a practice field and put stands around it, and it's must stop. It's a must stop for tourism. They don't do that in Dallas?
Oh, man, we go to Oxnard, California, and we had full access. I got to meet Dak Prescott, Ferguson, Turpin. Man, it was great.
Did they pay for your flight to California?
Pay for the flight, hotel, and every meal was at a 5-star restaurant.
Dude, that's pretty awesome. What's it like to eat with Michael Irvin?
Man, what you see is what you get. He is live and live in color, man. He is intense, and they even told me I couldn't get him hyped up because I grew up in the era where the Cowboys won the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't get him stirred up because he will go off the rails, man.
Yeah, he'll do rails. No, that was the old school. Not anymore. That was back in the day. Josh, thank you for calling, man. 310-840-4910. Do I have to read this text? The coolest contest I've ever won was my wife's heart. Addie?
Okay.
Can you block that person?
Okay.
Guys, there's no lovey-doveyness on this show.
Yeah,
okay?
come on now. That's ridiculous. Addie, what's the coolest contest you've ever... I don't know how much time we have left in the hour. What's the coolest contest you've ever won?
It wasn't eating with Michael Irvin. What it was is that it was with MLB Network Radio, and I got to meet some of the guys, and it turned out I started interviewing them, and they were like, hey, actually, do you want to intern with us? So it was just supposed to be me meeting the guys, and they're like, you seem really good at interviewing. Would you like to intern? And so then I interned with MLB Network Radio that summer.
You won an internship with Major League Baseball Network, Radio Network. That's
But hey, I am now hired there, so at least I think there's some talent there at least.
That's
guys.
not bad. You want to jump in? You can. 310-840-4910. If you're on hold, we'll get to you. You can text. What's the coolest contest you've ever won? Was it a raffle? Was it an auction? Was it a trivia contest? What was it? You got a guy who won the chance to call it a Phillies game, call an inning in a Phillies game, which I think is really neat. The Akron Zips are letting you call the first drive of the season. What's the coolest contest you've ever won? 310-840-4910. Also, we're going to get to a quarterback battle that is pretty much over. Even though they want you to believe it's still going on. We'll talk about it coming up. Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll. It's the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood One's.
I will try it like a leg kodwa sensukwini zanamhlanje sibona kwenzeka kanjani amantombazane
She's a rich girl, she don't try to hide it. Diamonds on the soles of her shoes. He's a poor boy, empty as a pocket with nothing to lose. Sing ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Ta-na-na, ta-na-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. 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 Say she's crazy, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of your shoes. She was physically forgotten, but then she slipped into my pocket with my car keys. She said, you've taken me for granted because I please you. Wearing these diamonds. And I could say, ooh, as if everybody knows what I'm talking about. As if everybody here would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds on the soles of her shoes. She makes the sign of a teaspoon, he makes the sign of a wave. The poor boy changes clothes and he puts on aftershave to compensate for his ordinary shoes. And she said, honey, take me dancing, but they ended up by sleeping in a doorway. by the bodegas and the lights on over Broadway, wearing diamonds on the soles of their shoes. And I could say, ooh. And everybody here would know what I was talking about. I mean, everybody here would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds. People say I'm crazy, I got diamonds on the soles of my shoes, yeah. Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of my shoes. Ta-na-na-na, 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 ta-na-na-na.
Happy Friday to you. It's the Drake Toll Show here on Westwood One Sports. I am not Drake Toll. My name's Mike Wickett. You can follow me at Mike Wickett on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Threads. Although Threads has become a horrible place. But you can follow me there anyway. Thank you so much for hanging out wherever you are, all across this great country, up in Canada. Hundreds of radio stations, Sirius XM Channel 375. The Westwood One app is free. Grab it wherever you get your apps. You can also tell your smart speaker, hey, Alexa, play Westwood One Sports. Are we on YouTube? How can people watch this show, Addie?
Oh, yeah. YouTube, X on Westwood One Sports, and Drake Toll's X. Yeah, we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Appreciate it.
You can't get rid of us.
No, it's infectious. We were talking about this last hour, and there were two contests. At least one went down last week, and one is ongoing right now, where there was a fan who spent $22,000, and he won an auction to call a Phillies game, or at least an inning in a Phillies game. And here's what he sounded like.
One more to go tomorrow night, and then a 3-game set with the Blue Jays over the weekend. Now Painter delivers. It's a check swing. It's a called strike 3. He got him. So Ortiz down.
I'm not going to lie. He sounds pretty good.
Swung on and popped up into shallow left field, playable, and caught out there by Brandon Marsh, and that is the second out of the inning.
His name is Louis Kolb. He's 73 years old, and he won an auction. Pretty cool contest to win. And we're asking you, what is the coolest contest you've ever won in your life? 310-840-4910. You can call, you can text 310-840-4910. And then Akron, the Zips. College football starting in a couple of weeks, and the Zips have a contest that you can enter where you get to call, if you're the winner, the first drive of the season on offense. You get to call the plays, obviously within reason with the head coach, but you get to call the plays. Here's their athletic director.
We just kind of said, what's the craziest thing that we can do and get away with for our fans? This is an incredible experience for someone. We think this entire community is going to appreciate it. We just did not know that one tweet was going to be seen by over 13 million people in less than 24 hours. And now it's become a national phenomenon, and it's awesome. If you get the opportunity to do this, you're going to tell your children, they're going to tell their children, especially if they score a touchdown. It's going to be the most wonderful experience they've ever had.
With all due respect to Akron Zips athletic director Andrew Goodrich, I don't know if calling the Akron Zips opening drive against Robert Morris, even if it leads to a touchdown, is the most exhilarating experience of my life. I mean, it would be cool. Don't get me wrong. And I guarantee there are passionate, hardcore Akron Zips fans. I know you're out there. Where you're probably listening to us in Ohio right now. But is that the experience of a lifetime? Like he's explaining, like it's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's still, you're still calling an Akron Zips drive in September against Robert Morris. Like, am I way off, Addie, am I way off? Like, it's cool. I'm not knocking it.
I don't know. When I was in high school, I used to keep stats for our baseball team, but the coach trusted me so much. He was like, hey, should I keep them in? I'm like, yeah, and here's why. And he'd be like, no, you're right. I should do
Same
that.
thing. Same thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, yeah, I guess it's cool. Like, yeah. And then when, you know, like you can do like, but it was more than one play or more than one thing. Okay. So, yeah, it is fun. You feel like you have power for one whole play, but, you know, if it's going to cost you $22,000 like the Phillies, woo.
That's a lot of dough. But he's a retired guy. He's probably got it. Who knows? So what's the coolest contest you have ever won in your life? Maybe it was a radio contest, trivia contest. Maybe you won an auction. Maybe it was a random drawing. 310-840-4910 from the Westwood One text line. If I was Robert Morris, and again, Robert Morris is playing Akron week 1. If I was Robert Morris, I'd have everyone in that town trying to win. That way I could tell him what I'm going to play. I wonder if they thought about that. That's actually not bad to self-sabotage the winner. Now, I will tell you, Akron, when they hit the button to pick the random winner of the million people or whoever, it's not like when you do a random draw for your fantasy football and you live stream it with your buddies so you know it's legit. Like, I'm not saying they're fixing it, but they're going to make sure that the winner is from Ohio, okay? That the winner of the Akron Zips contest is not going to be from wherever the hell Robert Morris is. And I have no idea where Robert Morris is. No clue. No idea. What is the coolest contest you've ever won? Our board operator, Laura Jimenez, has been dying to get her answer up. No. Laura, what is the coolest contest you've ever won?
Okay, so as a kid, I would spend summers, first of all, Addie's making it sound like I was tied down at home and had to learn all of this stuff. No, okay, it was like 1 or 2 summers in my childhood where I learned all of the Bibles, in all the books in the Bible, all 60 whatever of them.
You know, okay, how old were you when you did this?
I don't know, like 11, 12.
Okay, so
10.
when you were a rock star 11-year-old, where were you living, Laura?
Here in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, Hollywood, Tinseltown, all the stars. And Laura Jimenez, you were learning the books of the Bible. Okay,
some children were learning scripts for Disney. I was learning the books of the Bible.
Laura, it's just, I listen, it's like, hey, Dad, can I go to Disneyland? No.
No,
you need to continue learning the books of the Bible.
Addie, it was the other way around. It was, Laura, do you want to go to Disneyland? And she's like, no,
Dad.
I'm up to 57. I got to get the last 9 books.
Oh, God, yeah. That's a summer for sure. That's a good way to fun.
And not just in English. It was in Espanol. Okay, I'm a bilingual.
So how many could you get without cheating?
I don't know.
There are 66 beginning with the Old Testament.
Oh.
How many? Could you get all 66 back then?
Oh, yeah. I won.
You won?
I won.
Okay, hold on. Back up. Was there any books of the Bible off? Like, who can go? Like, you would go.
It was like a summer competition. It was people learning all the books in the Bible. It was like, how many verses could you memorize?
I love this.
Were any other
kids good?
Yeah, it was me and a little friend of mine called Jonathan. It was a little battle off. And that's what made it come.
And you beat Jonathan?
Yes, I beat Jonathan. Shout out to Jonathan.
What's up, Joe? What's Jonathan doing right now?
He's married, lives in Lancaster, works for some space.
What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Jonathan? What's going on? All right, Laura, let's go. Ready? God. How many? And you can do it in English or Spanish, whatever you prefer.
Oh, my God.
Let's see how many of the books of the Bible or if you get them out of order, I think Addie and I will let that slide. But how many in a row can you get? Go.
Génesis, Éxodos, Levíticos, Números, Deuteronomio, Josué, Jueces, Ruth, Primera y segunda de Samuel. Primera y segunda de Reyes. Primera y segunda de Crónicas. Esdras, Nehemías, Esther, Job, Salmos.
I don't speak Spanish, so you lost me.
I don't know.
But you're doing great.
Proverbs.
I think
Ecclesiastes. I don't.
I followed you for most of that. I took 9th grade Spanish, but you got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus,
Cantares,
Numbers,
Songs
Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, Samuel 1, Samuel 2, Kings 1, Kings 2, Chronicles 1 and 2, Ezra. You did really good. I'm impressed.
John. Wait, Matthew, John, Luke.
Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea. Somebody in their car's like, you guys keep going. You're halfway there. Like somebody's really mad.
Someone knows what I'm talking about. I know someone out there also learned all of them. I am not alone. Okay.
I bet. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Unreal.
All my
I'm impressed.
Call in.
That's still pretty damn good. That is still really good.
Give me a day. Give me an hour. I can get them to you by the end of the show.
Later on in the show, we're going to do one of the things that I do on my Sunday night show, and we're going to rank stuff. So I think it's appropriate that Laura Jimenez will rank her top 5 books of the Bible. I think you have to give us your 5 favorite with message. Okay.
This is really gonna hit the middle of American markets.
Yeah. This is what Drake was hoping for when he took the day off. Let's see if we can hit this. I don't have a big contest that I won, and I know this is going to sound kind of arrogant when I say this. I've been in radio for 27 years. I didn't have to enter to win a lot of stuff. Like any contest, like we go to a Packers game with our radio station. I was on the bus when I worked in Milwaukee on our affiliate 1250 up there. Concerts, when my wife actually also works in radio, and we've been in the same market for a while now. So like, I didn't have to enter to go see Taylor Swift twice. I didn't have to enter to go see Shinedown or Korn here in Des Moines because I worked at a rock station here in Iowa for 5 years. So like, I'm a little spoiled is what it is. So I never actually had to enter to win any of those kinds of contests because sometimes they were like go with the radio station contests or, hang out with, the jocks or the, talk show hosts or whatever. So I understand how this sounds. It's sounding worse every time I speak. Every time I utter words, it sounds worse.
No, for sure.
I know. Addie, what is the coolest contest you've ever won?
Well, other than my
besides your internship, have you ever won a cool prize, like a physical prize, not like a career?
Yeah, no, and I still use it to this day. I think it's pretty cool. I won a contest for a backpack for bowling, guys. That's a pretty big deal. And
what is? Wait. It sounds like a charity fundraiser. Backpacks for bowling. Like what?
No.
What is that?
No, so I grew up bowling as a kid, and I went to college D1 on a bowling scholarship, and I won this backpack from a professional bowler, and I still use it today. So
was it Parker Bone? Who did you win the backpack from?
That's show. No. His name is Francois Lavoie. He's from Canada.
What?
And
That's a real
he's
name?
one of my. Francois Lavoie.
It's one of the books of the Bible, Laura, that you missed.
You were supposed to know that. That one was number 56.
Right.
What the hell, Laura?
What did you do to win the backpack from Francois whatever?
I kind of don't remember. I think it was just like, put your name in the hat and we'll just, But then I've also like radio. Like I won tickets to see Hall & Oates, by the way, which was February of 2020. No, March of 2020. So we actually just didn't go to that because of something called COVID.
Can I tell you? I've been to a lot of shows, like I mentioned. The most disappointing show I've ever been to was Hall & Oates.
Oh, great.
I saw him in Kansas City. Train open for Hall & Oates.
Nice.
I know most people make the face. If you're watching on the stream, you get to see Addie's face. She ate something really sour. When I said Train, her whole face scrunched up. Train was great. Every Train song that they played.
Oh, yeah.
Hall & Oates was terrible. And I was so upset because I'd seen Train twice, but I'd never seen Hall & Oates before. And you get there, and they obviously don't like each other. They still don't like each other.
Oh, yeah.
and every song was like, okay, we're going to do a 2-minute guitar solo in the middle of every song. And it was like an extended remix of every Hall & Oates song. And I looked at my wife, who was pregnant at the time, and I was drunk. And I looked at my wife, and I said, is this boring? And she was like, yes. Because I was like, just play Rich Girl and shut up. Like, I just want you to play the stuff that we know, and I want this concert to be an hour and a half. We got done. It was like 2.5, 3 hours long. And our friends who were sitting a couple rows behind us were all walking out together. And I said to my friend DJ, and I said, DJ, did you guys like that? And they said, we were bored. And I'm like, yes, thank you. And I was because I wanted to see Hall & Oates. It was on my bucket list.
Yeah.
So you didn't miss much from my opinion.
That is so funny. About a month ago, I was in Denver, so I went to Red Rocks and I saw Blues Traveler, and I was under the influence. Okay, I was.
You were in Colorado. It's fine. It's okay.
But I'll tell you, every song they made it 20-something minutes because they were like a jam band, and I was like, but I wanted to go to Red Rocks and I was like, this is who's playing, and I just sat there and I think I stared at the sky. I was like, holy crap, this sucks.
Yeah,
I was like, it's just getting worse.
Like I didn't pay for a Fish concert. I didn't. I don't
want. Just sing Hook, damn it.
All right, yeah, just play Hook and run around and let's get out of here. Okay, Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll. Coming up on the other side, did the Commanders find their missing piece? Denton Day is going to join us from Commanders Camp. That's coming up next. This hour brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance. They protect small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today, progressivecommercial.com.
Hey, you with the curly bush on your head, baby. You know you're looking good, you know you're looking good, you know you're looking good. Soul sister, 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 ooh. You're looking good, honey.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, baby.
Hey, you. Hey, you with the bad hip boots on, little girl. You're the best in the world. It sure would be nice, honey, if I could just make you my girl. And when you walk, you know you let me know that you're so very much together, 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 together. Ooh. And when you talk to me, honey, you know you make me feel lighter than a feather. I've never known it, but I've always wanted the best in life. And if I had you, honey, I know that I could forget about the rest in life. I can't conceal, no, the way I feel. You're about a head curly bush on your head, baby. You know you're looking good, you know you're looking good, you know you're looking good. So sister, 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 ooh. And hey you with the bad hip boots on, little girl, you're the baddest in the world. It sure would be nice, honey, honey, if I could just make you my girl. Hey, you with the curly bush on your head, baby. You know you're looking good, you know you're looking good, you know you're looking good. Soul sister, 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 woo. You're looking good, honey.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, baby.
Hey, you with the bad hip boots on, little girl, you're the baddest in the world. It sure would be nice, honey, if I could just make you my girl. And when you walk, you walk.
I feel like this was a shot at my criticism of Hall & Oates in the last segment, Laura. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Thank you. Appreciate you. It's the Drake Toll Show. Mike Wickett filling in for Drake Toll here on Westwood One Sports. You can always jump in, 310-840-4910. The NFL got off to a nice start last night, the Hall of Fame game. It was Carolina 33-30 winners over the Arizona Cardinals. A walk-off win, getting the preseason rolling. And there are a lot of storylines all over the NFL, as always. And one of the, I wouldn't say a big domino, but a mini domino finally dropped as Stefon Diggs signing on with the Washington Commanders. Maybe that answers who's going to be opposite Terry McLaurin for the upcoming season. Joining us from Commanders camp, you hear him on the pre- and post-game show for the Washington Commanders. Also, a Westwood One teammate, Denton Day, is with us. Denton, thanks for coming on, man. How you doing?
Mike, what's up, man? I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to see Stefon Diggs, hopefully in uniform in some capacity for the first time in like an hour.
Realistic expectations for him at this point in his career in this offense?
I would say still pretty high. Like, I don't think he's going to be what he was in Buffalo. Maybe he's not even what he was in New England, but I don't know that they're going to be asking for 1,000 yards from him. I think if you get it, that's going to be great. But the expectation is that, Terry is going to be wide receiver 1, Terry McLaurin, and then Diggs will be wide receiver 2. So if you can get something around, 750 yards with, I don't know, a handful of touchdowns, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns, something along those lines, then I think you're very, very happy. And if that's what your wide receiver 2 is doing, odds are Terry McLaurin is a little above that. You get him a couple thousand yards, and right there you have 2 explosive playmakers.
Kingsbury out, David Blau in. Are you noticing, is this offense getting picked up by Jayden Daniels and by McLaurin and some of these other guys so far, or is this really still a training camp work in progress?
So it's definitely more of a training camp work in progress, but with Jayden Daniels at quarterback, I think any training camp that's a work in progress is still really, really good. So it's interesting. The first couple of days of practice, you kind of saw the work in progress. Like, they're moving a little bit slower. He was processing a little bit slower. And then, so they were off yesterday, but the 2 days before that, you really started to see it click. Like, they started kind of stacking things on top of each other that they had been working on. I call it building the building blocks up. And then you saw Jayden Daniels start to operate at a level that we're optimistic here in the nation's capital that he's going to play for the entirety of the season this year. And he just starts throwing the ball around the yard. He's making the right reads. He's delivering the ball really, really quickly. You're like, all right, this is the guy that we saw in 2024, and it's nice to see him back.
It seemed like last year, or the last couple of years, his first 2 years in the league, that Daniels was asked to do so much with his arm and his legs, and that's not good. Daniels is a decent sized guy, but he's not thick. Like, his frame is smaller. Is that, do you think, a point of emphasis with David Blount and Kingsbury not is keep him under center, get the ball out of his hand quick, or do you expect him to have another 500-600 yard season on the ground?
So I think 500 is going to be realistic, just because I think there's going to be a game or two where he goes crazy. But they're all under center, right? Or at least a lot under center as they're installing the new offense. And maybe my favorite little detail so far of training camp through the first week is that I can't really count how many times that Jayden Daniels has tucked and run, because it really hasn't been a lot. And you watch some of these other quarterbacks, and, with training camp, as you got to sit through 13 reps and 14 reps. And Sam Hartman likes to tuck and run. Marcus Mariota likes to tuck and run in 7-on-7s. Jayden doesn't really do that. So, he's delivering the ball. I think you'll see maybe a little bit more limited running compared to what it was in 2024. But my expectation would be that when he runs, it's going to be for bigger chunk plays, not like Cliff Kingsbury was calling quarterback powers out there. You're not going to see quarterback powers with David Blau.
Ugh, gross. Talking to Denton Day, our Westwood One teammate covering the Commanders, who does the Commanders pre- and post-game host. I'm Mike Wickett here on Westwood One Sports. Just hearing the idea of Jayden Daniels no longer running power makes me want to draft him in fantasy football. So I think that's fantastic. I'm watching the quarterback show on Netflix, and he's one of the guys. What do you think he learned last year through everything with the elbow and all the struggles? I mean, it feels like that was a really brutal second year, but maybe it does benefit him this year.
Yeah, I would imagine that the biggest takeaway was learning to control what you can control. Through the first couple of weeks of the year, he was really adamant about, I want to play through everything. And there was a press conference that I don't know that they showed this during the quarterback show, and nationally maybe it wouldn't really make a lot of sense, but it was right after the Packer game where he was like, hey, I want to play immediately. And they were like, no, you are not playing immediately. And he was frustrated at the podium. I think he's learned from that. So I don't think you'll see that anymore, to where it almost felt like he was challenging the coaches at the time. I don't think he'll be challenging the coaches anymore.
All right, if I had to draft somebody in this backfield in my fantasy draft in a couple of weeks, who's the running back that's going to get the majority of the carries? Go.
Bill's going to get the majority of the carries, but if you're in a full-point PPR, Rashad White would be your guy.
Bill Krosky-Merritt in year number 2, his expectation, and counter that or contrast that with Rashad White, who comes over from Tampa.
So that really depends who you ask, right? I think I'm in the minority around the Commanders media space, and that I think Bill is going to be the guy that has the better year between the two, because he looks the part. He's kind of like toned up a little bit, and you can tell that he's put in a lot of work on his body over the course of the offseason. So my expectation is that he's going to be a guy that gets, we'll say, 220, 250 carries on the year and really makes good work out of him. I just love the way that he's attacked training camp. A lot of people in the district are really happy with Rashad White because he can do so many different things out of the backfield that Bill is not as comfortable with. But there's just something about Krosky-Merritt and the way that he runs to where I think he's going to have a really solid season. And if the team is good, he needs to have a really solid season.
Commanders pre- and post-game host and our buddy here at Westwood One, Denton Day, joining us. I'm Mike Wickett. On the other side of the ball, they bring in a new defensive coordinator. They get a little bit younger. What was the problem with this defense last year? Was it specifically age and health?
It was age, it was health, it was coaching. So it was
okay, all of them, the trifecta. Okay.
Yeah. And, they made a conscious effort to get faster. And it's a lot easier. It's kind of easy to do that, honestly. I love Bobby Wagner, but Bobby Wagner he's pushing it, right? Like at that point, he played 15, 16 years in the NFL. You're just not going to be in your prime at that point. they've really done a good job of getting younger guys. And for the first time in Adam Peters' tenure as general manager, they paid dudes over the offseason. You know, the first year he was here, he had a lot to clean up because of the Ron Rivera mess that was left. And last year we were hoping, hey, they're going to go out there and spend a lot of money. And then they didn't. They did the one-year mercenary contract thing again. This is the year where they've gone out there and they added FAOA, who has looked really, really good. They obviously draft Sonny Styles, who's looked really good. It's just nice to see a bunch of young dudes that can actually really, really run. And then the coaching, Durante Jones, he comes right from Brian Flores in that coaching tree. You're going to see a lot of the very, very similar concepts with you're getting blitzed from everywhere. And Joe Witt last year and Dan Quinn last year, they just did not blitz. You were in like week 16. The team is so far out of playoff contention. We're like, can you please just blitz? And they're like, no, we're going to drop a lot. We're going to drop Bobby in coverage. You're like, oh my God.
I look at Dan Quinn, the head coach of this team, and I wonder who is the real Dan Quinn? 12-5 year one, 5-12. I know the Jayden Daniels injury was there. He's 17-17 as the head coach of the Commanders. For his career in Atlanta, he was 43-42. In your opinion, Denton, is Dan Quinn anything more than a 500 coach?
I would like to say yes. I have not seen that on a consistent basis. So when he was hired, there was a lot of pushback because they kind of called him a retread hire. They had just gotten rid of Ron Rivera, who was a perennial 500 coach, and everyone looked at Dan Quinn and said, in Atlanta, he was a perennial 500 coach. Why are you hiring him? Those people got shut up for a year because they went 12-5. They get the NFC Championship, and then last year was a disaster. I think this year we will learn. My guess is that he's probably more a 500 coach that every now and then has really great quarterback play that elevates it. Because if you think about it, you know, Matt Ryan obviously won the MVP when they won and when they went to the Super Bowl. Jayden Daniels late into the season was in MVP conversations, kind of fell off because of injuries, but still was a runaway Rookie of the Year winner and one of the best rookie quarterback seasons that we have seen. So he really does well when his quarterbacks are having like one-of-a-kind season. Seen him perform at a high enough level as a head coach when they're just being good. So I think he's more of a 500 coach at the moment.
They open at Philly, at Dallas, Seattle. Kind of a brutal start to the schedule for Dan Quinn with two new coordinators. I know the expectation is going to be to get to the playoffs and a Super Bowl, but realistically, Denton, as a guy who follows this team, covers this team, does pre- and post-game Commanders coverage, how many wins is a realistic goal for Washington this year?
So you're probably going to be hovering around like anywhere from 8 to 10, right? And then there'll be games in there. Like if you steal one of those early ones, you're like, hey, we might be able to win 9 or 10 games. If you get brutalized in the early portion of that schedule, it's probably going to be 8. So the nice thing is, if you look at the back end of their schedule, there's a lot of games that they could theoretically win in a row. But they're going to need to take a game that they're an underdog in the first 6 weeks of the season, even stretching that, what you mentioned, to like San Francisco on Monday night, which with the Stefon Diggs signing, that matchup may be a little bit deflated because there's not going to be Brandon Ayuk there, but they need to take at least 1 or 2 of those big matchups in the early portion of the season to have any hope at winning 10 games.
I'll get you out on this. Is the Ayuk stuff done? Is Brandon Ayuk to DC done?
It is done for those that are of sound mind. I think Brandon.
So Ayuk not Ayuk. Ayuk still thinks he's going there.
He is going to be posting with gear. He might be posting the theme song. I mean, he still is of the belief that something is going to happen, despite the fact that he does not want to do business with the 49ers, in that he just has to sign a piece of paper and that they would let him go. The fact that he fumbled this away is actually astounding. He had all of it going for him. He just signed the paperwork. You're in here by like July, and he just decided to be a very unique character on social media.
Denton, appreciate it, man. We're listening to you on 106.7 The Fan here on Westwood One Sports. You can hear him on the College Football Overtime Show on Sirius XM. Thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, Mike, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You can follow him on and I'll give you my top 5. We do that next here on Westwood One Sports.
Westwood One.
Baby, you dropped the bomb on me.
Get down.
All right, here on a Friday morning, thanks for hanging out. In for Drake Toll, I'm Mike Wickett here on Westwood One Sports. Thanks wherever you're listening, all across America or Canada. Hundreds of radio stations carrying this fine program. Sirius XM Channel 375, the Westwood One app. Also, you can tell your smart speaker, hey, Alexa, play Westwood One Sports. I normally am on the air Saturday nights and Sunday nights here on Westwood One from 7 to 11 p.m. And on Sunday nights, we rank stuff. We go around the room, and we all get to give a top 5 list. My buddy Alex said to me once, he said, Wicket, you have an uncanny ability to power rank things. And I felt like that was a compliment. So with that, we will rank things. Laura, can we get a little rank stuff music? Oh, flip, yes. There we go.
I feel like
This
make
works.
It serious.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Super serious.
Listen, we got a Hall of Fame game for the ages last night. We might as well have some NFL Films music. Our board operator, Laura Jimenez, you can rank anything you want. It could be sports. It could be your favorite kinds of salsa. I don't care. What are we ranking today?
We are ranking my top 5 movies so far of 2026.
Okay. All right.
I
have
haven't
seen...
watched Spider-Man yet, so no one come for me. It's not on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
Is that the only movie I've seen in the theater this year?
For real? Right now?
I have 3 kids, man. I don't have time for anything.
Wow. I've watched 43 movies this year. So
What's up?
43 movies?
In the theater.
That's a
not
flex.
that's not counting the multiple times I've watched one movie already. That's just one.
Is it the Odyssey?
Odyssey I've watched 3 times.
What?
Project Hail Mary I watched 5 times.
We watched Project Hail Mary on vacation. Took us 2 nights to get through it, but it wasn't bad. It's a good movie. Good movie.
Well, Project Hail Mary, my top movie of 2026.
Oh, okay.
There
What are
you go,
your
number 1.
5 favorite movies of 2026?
So Project Hail Mary is number 1. Second, Sheep Detectives. Guys, go watch Sheep Detectives. I know that sounds so stupid. But
Sheep Detectives? Like, is this something I should search for on the company's server? This feels like it could get weird.
No. It's with Hugh Jackman and talking sheep, and they try to find out who murdered their shepherd, which is Hugh Jackman.
It's a murder mystery.
It's a murder mystery.
Is it like a live action, like actual sheep?
Yes, little sheep.
Write this. Send me your list so I can. I'm not going to write this down. Send me your list.
And then right after that is the drama with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. I love that movie. I watched that, I think, also 4 times.
Do you go to the theater 4 times? The movie theater 4 times?
Yes. Different.
What does that cost you? Like, do you buy popcorn and candy when you're there?
AMC A-lister. Come on. You think I'm a noob? You think I'm paying every time?
For the record, we don't have AMC in Iowa. They closed all the AMC theaters here in Iowa. So
come on, what am I paying all these fees for if you're not going to have a theater out in Iowa?
Right, exactly. Let's go, AMC. We need you in Des Moines.
Okay, and then after that is The Invite, which is one that just came out recently, about like a month and a half ago with I already forgot the people in that movie, but it's super funny.
Sounds great.
Super funny.
I love it.
And then Waste Man, it's a British movie about in the prison system.
So wait a minute. Your top 5 movies include a bunch of sheep looking for their murderer of their shepherd or whatever, but not The Odyssey?
Okay.
The Odyssey didn't make your top 5. That movie's going to have 27 Oscars. The Odyssey didn't win.
Hot take. Look, I can go on a whole segment about this. I'd rather not. Don't. Let's not get into it.
The
But
Odyssey.
you saw it 3 times. It's 3 hours. You spent 9 hours of your life seeing this damn movie.
I'll probably watch it again.
Jesus.
But it's not so you haven't seen Spider-Man, but you've seen the sheep murdering movie 8 times?
I watched The Sheep Detectives 3 times. 2 times.
Did you see Obsession?
I
Didn't make the top 5. Didn't make the top 5.
I don't like scary movies.
Neither do I. I'm
Sorry,
with Laura.
Adam.
Laura, I'm with you. I don't like them either.
Lame.
All right, Addie, what are you ranking today? What's your top 5 list here here on Westwood One?
I am doing the top 5 sports-related songs, but they are not songs about sports. Like, this isn't going to be talking baseball. This isn't going to be center field. No. These are songs that you can associate.
Sports-related.
Yes, and I'll break down why. Number 5, we have Chelsea Dagger by the Fratellis. If you know Chicago Blackhawks.
Chicago, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a Blackhawks fan, but that song is so good. As soon as I hear da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm like, boom. Blackhawks.
Do you know, I don't know how old you guys are, but do you know there was a time when there weren't Blackhawks fans in Chicago?
24.
Oh, Jesus. There was a time before about 2008, 2009, there were no such thing as Blackhawks fans. They didn't even show the games on local TV because their idiot owner wanted you to go to the games. Until Patrick Kane came around and every chick on Russian division started wearing a pink Blackhawks jersey, there was not a soul who was a Blackhawks fan because they marketed that team so poorly.
I used to have a beanie, a Blackhawks beanie. I miss that beanie.
And I'm a Red Wings fan, so I hate that song. But go on, please.
I love it. Right, number 3. This one was big in the 70s, and I hear it all the time when I go to hockey games, and I love it. The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy.
All right, that's a great song.
Rocks.
All right,
that song rocks, so that's at number 4. Sorry, number 3. Here's a weird one. It's In the Way That You Use It by Eric Clapton, which was the theme song for The Color of Money, basically. The movie about pool. About pool.
I'm going to tell you right now, the second one was a sequel, right, to The Hustler.
Yep.
You could walk down. What's the name of the song?
It's in the way that you use it.
You could walk down the streets. You're in D.C. You could walk through the cherry blossoms in D.C. and ask 10 people about that song. Less than 5 will know that song.
Well, because they're lame. That's why. It's a good song. And it's one that, like, when I think of The Color of Money, I think of that song. So there you go. There's that one.
Okay.
Number 2. This is by one of my favorite bands, and it's their most popular song. Song 2 by Blur. Woohoo!
I mean, it's a good sports anthem. It works.
It is.
Did Blur Blur didn't do anything else though, right? Unless you're if you're a Blur fan, you're like, shut up, Wicket, they're the best. But like no one knows any other Blur song besides Song 2.
I'm such a Blur fan. Well, you know Damon Albarn because he's the lead singer of Gorillaz. So you know, feel good.
I do know that.
So there you go. But no,
that's not Blur.
Their catalog is great, guys. Just listen to their music. And the number 1, and this hurts me to say this, I'm an Astros fan, so I can't believe I'm giving this team credit for anything. Theme from New York, New York by Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Love that song.
I know.
I mean, obviously I got the cat named Sinatra here, so.
Your cat's name is Sinatra. I did learn that this morning.
Sinatra Bublé Bates. That's her.
So the best sports adjacent song is from Old Blue Eyes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll go with it.
Here at my house, because she's a Siamese, that's Old Cross-Eyed.
I'm not going there. We are ranking stuff here on Westwood One Sports. I'm Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll. We've got Addie Bates' list. We've got Laura Jimenez' list. I am going to give you the 5 worst NFL signings this offseason. The 5 worst free agent signings. By the way, just missing the cut, Odell Beckham Jr. at 33 years of age with the Giants and Travis Kelce at 100 years of age with the Kansas City Chiefs. But number 5, and I truly do think that this was a buy high moment. The Kansas City Chiefs, when they gave Kenneth Walker all that money, 3 years, $40 million. Listen, we're talking about Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs and Jonathan Taylor getting paid earlier. That's all well and good. Those are workhorse backs. They deserve to get paid. They're some of the best in the NFL. Kenneth Walker is coming off his best year. He was the Super Bowl MVP. But Kenneth Walker is coming off his best year because Zach Charbonnet, up until he got hurt, was having his best year. And Kenneth Walker, who you could never count on to be a workhorse back, is now going to be counted on to be that guy in Kansas City. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I will be. Kenneth Walker, number 5, worst signing of the offseason. Number 4, it just happened this week. Listen, Zay Flowers is a good wide receiver. But 4 years and $140 million for Zay Flowers? He's now in the same category dollar-wise as Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. One of these things is not like the other, and it's Zay Flowers. He's number 4 on this list. Number 3, cheap deal, 1-year deal, but I don't get it. I actually, if you follow me on social media, I made a reel or a TikTok about this. What's the deal? I sound like Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal? What's the deal with the Niners signing Deebo Samuel, other than they need a body familiar with the offense? Deebo Samuel is the Doc Rivers of the NFL. Deebo Samuel has had 1 year where he's had over 1,000 yards receiving. Do you know how easy it is for a decent wide receiver to have over 1,000 yards receiving? It's like 60 yards a game now that they play 17 games. This isn't like back when they were playing 14 games and 1,000-yard season was incredible. Hell, when they were playing 16, it was 66 yards a game. But 1 year for Deebo Samuel, who doesn't run the ball like he used to. He gets banged up. Good guy, clubhouse guy. I love him. But as a player, he's had one really good year, and he's living off that like Doc Rivers lived off of his one championship with the PGA Tour. Number 2 on this list, and this hurts my heart because he played well last year for the Green Bay Packers. I'll never understand what the Dolphins are doing, giving Malik Willis 3 years and $67.5 million, 45 guaranteed. The Dolphins are going to win 3 games this year, and Malik Willis is going to take a pounding. They don't have any weapons for him to throw to. And then the Dolphins are going to win 4 or 5 games in 2027. And then they're going to move on to their next quarterback. Malik had a good little run, but the guy threw 35 passes last year. 35! That's 35 more than I did. And I didn't get a $67.5 million contract. He's number 2 on my list. But the absolute worst contract in the entire NFL offseason is in Indianapolis. And Daniel Jones should be on this list too, because 2 at 90 for him is terrible. But it's Alec Pierce, the wide receiver, got 4 years, $114 million. He's never had more than 41 catches in a season. He's a one-trick pony. He's a great downfield threat, sure. But is that a guy who's worth 4 years and $114 million? And by the way, right now he's hurt. He's like Deshaun Jackson without the return ability. Remember how good Deshaun Jackson was for Philadelphia? He only had one thing. You could throw the ball down the field because he was faster than everybody. That's Alec Pierce. And they watch Michael Pittman go out the door to Pittsburgh. Like, I didn't understand this decision whatsoever. They must have really high expectations for Josh Downs and Tyler Warren in year 2 there in Indy. But Alec Pierce, the worst offseason signing of the NFL offseason. And for the record, I'm going to get some of these wrong probably. And I'm going to get Indy fan hit me up on Twitter at Mike Wickett, 2 T's. Or I'm going to get like Deebo Samuel career year Niner fan coming after me. But I'm going to be right about most of these. I'm telling you right now. Not all, these are some bad signings. Coming up, we're going to get to the quarterback battle that is over, despite the fact that they want to tell you that it's still going on. It is not. It is so one-sided, and I feel kind of bad for the young man because he played college football at my favorite school, my favorite college. I grew up in Detroit. I grew up a Michigan fan. You can see where this is going. Also, Frank Schwab will join us from Yahoo Sports. We'll get his thoughts on the game that was last night. And apparently, I'm going to be in a trivia battle. Addie, I'm going to be in a trivia battle with Laura. Is this correct?
Oh, yeah. Dust off the noggin, okay? You're going to need to go head-to-head, okay? It's
Speaking
important.
has anybody, and I got like 12 seconds here. Go watch ESPN Jeopardy on Disney+. It will frustrate the hell out of you. What happened to our people on TV? They know nothing. Nothing at all. We'll see how well Laura and I do coming up about an hour from right now. I'm Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll here on Westwood One Sports. Hour number 3 next.
Make up your mind. Decide to walk with me around the lake tonight. Around the lake tonight. By my side. Gentleman behind the
Happy Friday, hanging out. Filling in for Drake Toll. I'm Mike Wickett here on the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports. This from the massive collection of the band Blur, our producer Addie Bates' favorite band in the world. Is this your favorite band in the world, Addie, or just a band you like?
I mean, it's so basic, but I'm a giant Beatles fan. But they are, like, one of my favorite bands. I do have a tattoo, a Blur tattoo, so they're with me for life.
You have a Blur tattoo?
Like this. Well, all my tattoos are music-related. If you look at the camera, they have a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right,
But yes, so I'm a
here's,
big.
Here's mine. There's mine right there. It's a radio dial here with all my radio stops in my career, and then my kids' initials are in there.
That's incredible.
And then that is a Packers helmet with their 4 Super Bowls. With room for the next one. With room for the next one. Whenever that's going to come. Yeah,
LaFleur, if you're listening, please.
Right.
Please.
Let love cook. All right. Let him cook. We're going to talk to Frank Schwab from Yahoo Sports. Senior NFL writer is going to join us in about 20 minutes from right now. We'll touch on last night's Hall of Fame game, which was very fun, very entertaining. And it was Carolina with a walk-off win. They score. Haynes King runs in a touchdown as they beat Arizona 33-30 to open up the preseason. But there's, despite what people are telling you, the quarterback battle in Minnesota is over. All right. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what they're going to keep trotting out there. This quarterback battle is over because everything you are hearing from people, everything you're hearing from every Viking reporter, and we're going to hear from some in a moment, is simply that Kyler Murray is blowing J.J. McCarthy out of the water. That the funny thing is the first 2 days of camp, J.J. was on top. And you would understand that because J.J. was in the system, Kevin O'Connell's system, for the last 2+ seasons. And here comes Kyler Murray coming over from Arizona, the veteran. He's got to learn the system. And that makes sense. You know, it takes a guy a while, an offseason. They did OTAs. But there is a real difference between these two. And I'm not high on Kyler Murray, okay? I think Kyler Murray is what he is at this point. He's going to give you 5 games where you're going to be like, that's the best quarterback in the league. And he's going to give you 5 games where you're like, this guy shouldn't be on a team. And then everything else will be kind of in the middle. That's who Kyler Murray is at this point. He doesn't run like he used to after the ACL, but he's going to be an upgrade from J.J. McCarthy. And really, and we say this about a lot of teams, about these things, like if the Bengals defense can be average, the Bengals are going to challenge for the AFC North and maybe the AFC. And their NFC counterpart is Dallas. If Dallas's defense can just be average, then the Cowboys are going to contend in the NFC for the East and maybe to go to an NFC championship game. Well, when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings, they were 9-8 last year. They were 3rd in the NFC North. Bears won the division. Packers were in 2nd. Minnesota was 3rd. Lions were 4th. The Vikings finished 4th with the worst quarterback room in the National Football League. Their quarterback rating between J.J. McCarthy, Max Brosmer, and Carson Wentz was 32nd in the NFL. And they still won 9 games last year. That seems impossible. Their defense is that good. Or their defense was that good. Brian Flores is that good. This defense is trick people up, disguising stuff, exotic stuff, and it works. But if they can just get average quarterback play, and I'm serious, if Kyler Murray can be 16th in the National Football League in quarterback rating or efficiency or whatever your favorite stat is, EPA if you're a nerd, it doesn't matter. If Kyler can be just average, then Minnesota is going to win 10, 11 games and challenge in the NFC North. And Kyler Murray was brought in for that. He was brought in to, in theory, battle J.J. McCarthy, make 9 better, or win the job. And it sounds like right now, according to Kevin O'Connell, that his QB is picking up this offense.
We're stacking some reps now, and you can see, maybe growth from, the first or second day to now. Because the beauty of our offense is there's a lot of layered learning to it, where one coaching point from an early install, it will apply to how decisive you can be making a decision, or, your timing or your accuracy you're throwing the football with. and he's shown improvement every single day. And most importantly, just the comfort level that comes, I think, with all the hard work he put in over the summer after kind of being exposed to a lot of this stuff in the spring.
Look, Kyler Murray was the number one pick in the draft 9 years ago for a reason. We know he has ability. I don't know if it's high-end, consistent, high-end NFL level ability, but we know he has ability. As for J.J. McCarthy, it just sounds like, if you listen to people like Purple Insider's Matthew Collar, he's just, everything is dink and dunk, and he's afraid to push the ball down the field.
There's just a lot of things that did not get past the line of scrimmage, and some of that was because they were running swing passes and screens with him with the first and second team. But even when it was 7-on-7, there just was not a lot pushed down the field and hasn't been for this entire camp.
And there's more from Collar. It's not just one guy. If you're one of those people, it's like, that guy's got an agenda. That guy's got a narrative he's pushing. It sounds like it's more than just this guy looking at JJ and saying, this is ugly.
Just asking around, are other people seeing what I'm seeing? Do we think that this has looked worse for J.J. McCarthy than either of his last two camps? And the answer I've gotten from everybody is pretty much yes. And you start to wonder at this point, is it more about confidence for J.J. McCarthy than it is maybe trying not to make a mistake or whatever, that he can't actually get it done?
Believe me, I've been one of those people who has said, you can't give up on J.J. McCarthy yet. But if in camp, when you're supposed to try things, because you're not going to get hit, if in camp, when you're supposed to take chances, if in camp, you're supposed to speed up your process, if in training camp, you're supposed to try to do things that make you uncomfortable, that maybe you weren't very good at, and you're not doing it, you're not trying it, you're not having any success at it, it feels like J.J. McCarthy is losing this battle, and this whole thing is pretty much over.
I don't think it's knowledge of the offense. I do think that there are always timing issues with J.J. McCarthy, so there has not been, through 7 days, and it's a very short time, enough progress to say this should carry on a whole lot longer. That's kind of the way that I'm looking at it after today. I thought this was a really, really big practice to see the reps, to see the performances. The pads are on. Everybody's active almost. I think everybody on the defensive side was active. Jordan Addison was not able to practice, but everybody was out there, and it just was very clearly Kyler as QB1.
Yeah, it's over. If just by everything you're hearing, you're seeing the unofficial stats that people are keeping, you watch some of the film that people are tweeting or putting out there, and you kind of feel, I don't know if it's right to say this because people don't like you to say this about athletes. Like, I kind of feel bad for J.J. McCarthy. Not that, he's going to lose his job and he's being outperformed by Kyler Murray. But some of the stuff I'm seeing on social media, not the written stuff, because social media is a cesspool, it's a toilet. But there was one moment where he had a bad throw, and you could hear somebody say something horrific about J.J. McCarthy. And you see Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and others turn around and look at the guy like, bro, give it a rest. Nobody wants J.J. McCarthy to be good more than J.J. McCarthy. It doesn't matter if your Twitter handle is Skull6969. You remember the days of Fran Tarkenton. You loved Anthony Carter and Chris Carter. You're wearing an Adrian Peterson jersey. Nobody wants J.J. McCarthy to be good more than J.J. McCarthy. It's like when you're on a plane, okay? And I used to feel this way before I had children. You got a crying kid on a plane. You want that kid to shut up. You want that crying baby to be quiet. I don't care if the pressure's getting to baby's ears. I don't care if the kid's hungry. I don't care if the plane is loud. I am trying to read my book. I'm trying to watch my show. I'm trying to sleep. All that stuff. Nobody wants that baby to be quiet more than mom or dad that's holding the baby, okay? Everybody knows what's going on at camp. Just like everybody knows what's happening on that plane. And everybody wants JJ to be good. Because JJ's 23 years old. If JJ's good now at 23, he's going to be great at 26. But JJ's not good at 23. Mike Wickett here in for Drake Toll. You're on Westwood One Sports. You can jump in. You can call or text. 310-840-4910. And there's a lot of talk in Minnesota about how we got to this point. 2 years ago, Sam Darnold won, 14, 15 games, and the Vikings went to the playoffs. They got smoked by the Rams, and Darnold was sacked, I think, 6 times in that game. And, of course, we know they moved off Darnold, and they drafted J.J. McCarthy. Or they went with J.J. McCarthy because they had drafted him the year before. And so they were going to put all their eggs into the J.J. McCarthy basket because Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the former GM, had drafted him. And Sam Darnold goes on to Seattle, and we know what happened with Sam Darnold. We know what a crazy year it was to say, Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champion. So J.J. gets hurt. Darnold comes in, wins 15 games. Thank you. See you later. J.J.'s our guy now. Chris Carter, one of the all-time great Minnesota Vikings, says that this decision was made not because of KOC, that the decision to move off Darnold, focus on J.J. McCarthy, is the former GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah's fault.
Internally, what we hear, and from the people I talk to, he was the general manager's guy.
Not the coach's guy.
The general manager first. They didn't extend the general manager's contract, then fired him after the season, and they extended the coach before the season. So you give this guy fresh money. You tell this guy, hey, man, great, the analytics and everything. I know you got a different background, but we gave it a try. These draft picks are not working out. Because Minnesota's got a lot of things in place, championship atmosphere, what they do on a day-to-day basis, the ownership, the fan base. Like, they got a lot of good stuff lined up that if they get good quarterback play, they don't have a chance.
They don't need good quarterback play. They need average quarterback play. They have the best receiver in football, or second best. I don't care if you're a Ja'Marr Chase or Jefferson guy. They're on the same level. Addison, if he can not get arrested, is a really good two. He's like a purple version of T. Higgins. They just signed Juwan Jennings. They've got Hawk. They've got the 2 running backs. Aaron Jones getting up there in age. Jordan Mason's a bruiser, not a stud. But if they can just get average quarterback play, which they were hoping to get out of J.J. McCarthy last year, and he couldn't stay healthy, and he couldn't give you average quarterback play. Remember, he was healthy enough to play in a game last year, and they kept him out because he was so bad? Kevin O'Connell was asked to respond to what Chris Carter had to say. Here's the Vikings head coach.
We were always going to, in that moment of time in this organization, once Kirk had moved on, we needed to add a young quarterback. And then you go into, it's a draft. And we, still feel so strongly about who JJ is and what he's made of and where his upside can get to, all while having lost an entire calendar year of development where, we tried virtual reality. Yes, right. We tried, but nothing quite can mimic what you go through when you go through the, we also want to make sure we're doing whatever we can because we've got a team we feel like we can win with.
It does feel like, and again, this quarterback battle is over. There's splitting reps. I think that's got to end if you're a Viking fan. It doesn't make any sense anymore to give J.J. McCarthy half the reps. He's looked terrible in camp. I mean, it's only been a week and a half. I understand that. But you got to, at some point, say, heck, we're closing in on 2 weeks of camp. We're about a third of the way done. At some point, you have to look at this and say, all right, we gave J.J. McCarthy a shot at this. He's just not good, okay? He's basically, from all reports and seeing the stuff on video, and I'm not in Minnesota, I'm not at their camp, but this is just stuff I read from Viking sources that I trust. He's regressed. And that's the worst thing that can happen to a young quarterback, whether he's seeing ghosts, whether he's feeling the pressure from the guy you brought in, which says a lot, by the way. If it is the Kyler Murray factor, that tells me a lot about J.J. McCarthy, tells me a lot about his ability to bounce back from adversity. It tells you a lot. Because J.J., when he was at Michigan, he handed the ball off a lot. He never had to throw for 1,000,000 yards. Their defense was elite. He had to make a couple of throws a game. But he get to the NFL, it's different. He had the injury. He hasn't picked up the offense all that well. Everything's really fast, it feels like, for J.J. McCarthy. And you're watching him right now, and Kyler Murray can play at this level. And he can play above average at this level. I don't know if J.J. McCarthy can play above average at this level. McCarthy last year threw for 1,600 yards in 10 games. He had 11 touchdowns and 12 picks. Quarterback rating was 72. So I feel like this quarterback competition is over. If you're the Vikings, you have to give the majority of the snaps to Kyler Murray. He's why you brought him in. This is why you brought him in. Battle McCarthy. See if McCarthy can rise up. It didn't work. Now you got to go with your best option, and you got to give him the football and run with it and see where Kyler can take you. And hope that J.J. McCarthy can learn from this. Frank Schwab's going to join us. We'll get his thoughts on the J.J. McCarthy, Kyler Murray battle. That's coming up on the other side. Yahoo Sports senior NFL writer Frank Schwab is next. Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Football season kicked off like a week and a half ago with camps. We got our first game yesterday. We got to talk about it with a grain of salt, of course. Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll here on the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. Happy Friday to you. Joining us on the line right now from Yahoo Sports, senior NFL writer Frank Schwab is with us. Frank, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. The Hall of Fame game was better than the Super Bowl. Your thoughts? It was a more entertaining game than what we got.
I can't even argue with you. Yeah, it was a good game, right? Like, we wait for the Hall of Fame game, and usually it stinks. It's usually like, whatever. Last night was an entertaining game. I mean, heck, if that's setting the stage for what we got to come this season, I'm signing up.
It's hard, everything is with a grain of salt and caveats of second and third stringers. We all understand that, but you had to be impressed with what you saw to Arizona's Carson Beck.
Yeah, I mean, he did his job. Like, we can put in all those caveats, and yeah, it'll get tougher for him. I mean, once the regular season starts, teams start blitzing. Teams start disguising coverage, and players who actually will be on the 53-man roster are playing. But look, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, he did his job. You couldn't have done any better than he did yesterday. He looked very decisive, accurate. You could see his arm strength. Everything looked good for Carson last night. And for Arizona fans just looking for something, they're going to finish last in that division. We all know that. I guess unless the 49ers' entire roster is injured, which could happen at this rate. The Cardinals going to finish last, have a tough year, but now they have something to watch, right? Now there's something for them to get excited about.
Do you think Beck plays midway through this season? How long do you think the Jacoby Brissett thing goes? Because, like you said, this is a team that could legitimately, by the way, be 0-13 at some point.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. When you look at the early season schedule, you're like, how long are they going to stick with Jacoby? They're double-digit underdogs for like a month and a half. I mean, I think that one thing is, look, nobody wants to go 0-17. Nobody remembers. Not one person remembers the one-loss teams through history. We all remember the winless teams. There's such a huge difference between 0 losses and 1 loss that they're going to want to get that one win, right? Like, so I figure Jacoby will start until they get that one win for sure. And then Carson Beck kind of comes on and they're going to give him at least, I assume, a month and a half, 2 months, just to see what he's got. It makes sense, too. They're going to be in a position to draft somebody in 2027. You want to know for sure that, hey, we're not doing a Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers situation. If Carson Beck is this good, and I don't think he's this good, but if he is, you want to know. So, yeah, I think he's going to get a good, solid run out at the end of the season when all hope is lost. But, yeah, you got to get that first win first. And as crazy as it sounds to talk about it in those terms, it's not going to come easy for the Cardinals. You look at that schedule, and like you said, you're like, okay, where's the win? It's going to take a while. So, yeah. I
might
think
be, Frank, it might be the Jets. Like, the Jets is what you can bet on in December. And I think the Jets are going to be better than, a 4-win team this year. So maybe it's not even the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets are one of those teams where, on paper, that there are some things to like. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, the tight ends they got. And then you look at the coaching staff, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we forgot about that. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the Jets are they're at least interesting. Let's put it that way. But they're one of those teams. There's about 5 or 6 teams where I was writing my previews. I write the team previews, counted them down all summer. And the whole preview seemed to focus on, well, okay, they need a quarterback in the 2027 draft. We all know about this draft class that has all these quarterbacks coming in. And so many teams, Cleveland, Arizona, the Jets, all these teams, on and on, who need a quarterback in 2027. I think we're going to see tanking, like legitimate outright NBA-style tanking for the first time in the NFL. Not that tanking hasn't happened in the NFL. We saw it with the Raiders last year. The Buccaneers did it for Jameis Winston. Go back and look at that history. But I think you're going to see a lot more teams this year being like, oh, Trey McBride and Michael Wilson, yeah, you need those surgeries now. It's only Thanksgiving, but yeah, that knee's really bothering you. That's what happened in the NBA this past season. People mistake tanking. People mistake it. They think, well, you go and tell the players to not try. That never happens. That has never happened in any sport. It wouldn't happen. That's not how you tank. And so people say, It'll never happen in the NFL because you can't tell NFL players not to try hard. Yeah, of course we get that. But the way tanking happens, which we've seen in the NFL or in the NBA, even saw it in Major League Baseball, teams tearing down rosters, is you put the worst lineup on the field. You don't, that's how it works. You put the NBA would sit guys, right? That's what's going to happen, I think, in the NFL. The stakes are too high this year. The stakes are so high that a team like, let's say, the Browns, who are pretty good around the quarterback position, you don't want to win 6 games and be drafting, 11th, and you don't get any shot at a quarterback. So I think that's going to be a massive storyline all season.
Talking with Yahoo Sports senior NFL writer Frank Schwab here on Westwood One Sports. I'm Mike Wickett in for Drake Toll. I just spent a little while before you came on talking about the Minnesota quarterback battle. Everything you're seeing, everything you're reading, Frank, is this thing over?
It seems, I know it was over before it started. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings were looking for a starter when they went and got Kyler Murray, who kind of fell in their laps because he's not getting paid much. I think the fact that early in camp when it was like, oh, JJ's looking really good, that might have just been a reflection on Kyler Murray, who's not very good himself. Like, I don't know. I think Minnesota can't be worse at quarterback with Kyler Murray. It's going to be Kyler. Let's be honest. It's going to be Kyler. They can't be worse at quarterback this year if it's Kyler Murray, but it's still Kyler Murray. Like, we keep it. It's Kyler Murray's played more NFL games than Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. Like, Kyler Murray's played a lot of football. Like, we know who Kyler Murray is. Kyler Murray's just a run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road quarterback. And maybe that's good enough for the Vikings. They went 9-8 with the second-worst quarterback play. Sorry, Browns. Second-worst quarterback play in the NFL last season. So maybe, Kyler Murray's average and they win 11 games. I can see it, but I look at that quarterback battle. It's not as bad as Cleveland, but I look at it, kind of shrug and say, I guess. Like, if Kyler Murray can't beat out J.J. McCarthy, something went wrong.
Well, let's get to that other quarterback battle. Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders. I have screamed on this show and on my weekend program, give the ball to Shedeur. Starting Watson does absolutely nothing. Do you agree with that, or do you see value in Watson winning a quarterback race?
None at all. I think you're rage baiting me because I've talked about this all off season. My one thing that just sets me off is the Cleveland Browns actually trying to convince people that them starting Deshaun Watson is okay. I've covered this league more than 25 years. It's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen a team do. Last December 6th, both Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter reported out of the blue, hey, Deshaun Watson's going to be on the roster next year, and he has a real chance to start. And it's like, where did that come from? Like, what are we told? What? Okay. And since then, there's been this media blitz by the Browns to convince everybody that this is okay, that, yeah, we're going to try Deshaun Watson, and he looks a lot better, and he's not mad at Cleveland, which is ridiculous. And why? Why are we doing? There's 2 things in play here. Deshaun Watson can't play football anymore. He's not good. We've watched it. It's over. Like, he just can't play. And Deshaun Watson's not exactly a great guy either. So why is Cleveland doing? What's the point? I would rather play anybody at quarterback other than Deshaun Watson. I get you might need to have him around because salary cap. Hey, go practice on the other field, Deshaun. We'll act like you're part of the team, but you're not touching the field. Why? Why would you humiliate yourself as an organization more than you have? I would play Deshaun Watson, or I'd play Shedeur Sanders over him. I'd play Dylan Gabriel. I'd play Taylor Green. I'd go find what Brian Sipe is doing these days. I'd go get Eric Zaire off of. Like, I would rather play. I'm being a little exaggerating here, but not much. I'd rather play 10 guys than put Deshaun Watson out there and embarrass my franchise any more than it has. Like, what are you doing? Like, you made yourself the most unlikable franchise in the NFL by getting this guy, and now you're going back to him after Jimmy Haslam already said we took a big swing and miss on Deshaun Watson. Yeah, you did. Don't you understand the term sunk cost? Like, does this not register to you guys? So I find that charade just ridiculous. But I honestly think they will start Deshaun Watson because of this. They've been setting us up since December 6th. They've been setting us up to normalize starting Deshaun Watson on opening day, and I don't get why.
Yahoo Sports senior NFL writer Frank Schwab, our guest here on Westwood One Sports, in for Drake Toll. I'm Mike Wickett. All right, outside of injury, give me a scenario where the Rams don't win the NFC.
I think of one thing outside of injury. There's a few things. I always say if the 2007 Patriots didn't win a Super Bowl, nobody's guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. 2007 Patriots are the best team in NFL history, and they didn't win a Super Bowl. So anything can happen. You're in a one-and-done situation. It's a competitive league. Anything can happen. And I think the more specific answer, though, is the Seattle Seahawks still play in their division. It's very rare to have the two best teams in the NFL, clearly, easily the two best teams in the NFL in the same division. I think the last time it happened was Legion of Boom days when that great 49ers team was with them. It's really rare, but that's it. Like, why didn't the Rams win a Super Bowl last year? It's because Seattle was just like an inch better than them in those 3 games. So that's it. Like, A, it's a competitive league. Anything can happen. But B, we can't discount Seattle. That was a dominant Super Bowl champion last year and really well coached and really they all the pieces fit for them. They're really a team. They're one of those strange champions that I don't think is going to get remembered as well as they should, because they don't have a superstar quarterback and they don't have the boisterous defensive stars like those Buccaneers teams, the Ravens, 2000 Ravens or 85 Bears or anything. But they were just as good as any of those teams if you look at the stats. So, yeah, the NFC West is just going to be a beast this year with those two teams, and maybe even the 49ers, they could stay somewhat healthy. So, yeah, if the Rams don't get it done, it's probably injury, because they are thin. If anything happens to those receivers, if anything happens to Stafford, it goes south really, really quick. But other than that, it's just, hey, you still got to knock off the Seattle Seahawks. They're the ones with the trophy in their room.
The Chiefs did some things. They brought Bieniemy back, re-signed Kelsey, jettisoned their top 2 corners, whatever. Even though with Mahomes coming back, I don't know if I can say that this is an AFC championship contending team. Where do you fall on the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm kind of middle of the road, and I hate to be middle of the road on anything, but I had them ranked 12th in the NFL. Got some grief for that. But I can see it because I might be 8-9 spots too low. I also might be a few spots too high. Like this, Mahomes coming off a major injury. He's never dealt with that before. He looks good in camp, but we need to see him, get on the field and play. The supporting cast has eroded around him. I mean, Travis Kelce's at an age when I think only one guy's ever had more than 400 yards in a season at tight end, and that was Tony Gonzalez, who was just ageless. Maybe Kelsey's, the same. He's a unicorn too. But you look at the receivers, Rashee Rice can't stay out of trouble, and Xavier Worthy's never really hit. And you just wonder about that team. But then you look at the flip side, you say, well, you start with one of the greatest coaches of all time, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Okay, that's pretty good. I do think Kenneth Walker changes their offense for the better. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Chiefs this year. I'm not picking them to win the AFC West, and I feel like I'm going to be wrong. Like it's scary to go against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but I'm not picking it. Like I said, I'm not picking them to win the AFC West, realizing they can make another Super Bowl. Why would it surprise us that much if they went 15-2 2 years ago? Like this team could be really, really good. Maybe I'm downplaying that.
Frank, you're the man. We appreciate you coming on. I could talk to you for hours. Follow him at Yahoo Schwab. Read him at yahoosports.com. Thank you so much for coming on, my friend. We are there. We have made it to the NFL season.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. And yeah, hey, we got a lot of meaningless football coming up, but the real stuff starts pretty soon. I can't wait.
Take care. Frank Schwab, senior NFL writer from Yahoo Sports. Man, I only had about 40 more questions for Frank. So I didn't even get to the Jordan Love stuff. He wrote about Tyreek Hill. He wrote about a whole bunch. Follow him, man, at Yahoo Schwab. He is one of the absolute best. All right, coming up. Apparently, this is the time where I go up against our board operator, Laura Jimenez, in trivia. And as long as it's not, if you were listening earlier, reciting the books of the Bible, I have a shot at winning this thing. We found out earlier that Laura, as a child, could recite all 66 books of the Bible in Spanish. I hope that's not where we go. But if it is, hey, that'll be fun, too. We wrap up the show. Mike Wickett, final segment of the Drake Toll Show next on Westwood One Sports.
insurance, rip-off flying, FDA, big bank is buying, fake computer crashes, dining, cloning, well, they're multiplying. Fashion shoots with Becky Hansen, Courtney Love, and Marilyn Manson. You're all fakes, run to your mansions, come around, we'll kick your asses.
Final segment, final day of the week. In for Drake Toll, I'm Mike Wicketts. I'll be back with you tomorrow. If you enjoyed the last 3 hours, guess what? I get 4 tomorrow night, 7 to 11 Eastern time here on Westwood One Sports, also on Sunday night. So, I mean, it'll be Addie and Laura Free, which really will lower the level of entertainment, I'm sure. But thanks to both of you, by the way. This has been fun filling in for Drake. Yesterday, I got the call about 10 o'clock in the morning. I drive Uber, and I was driving some people around here in Des Moines, and I got a call from our boss, Armin, who said, hey, can you fill in? Drake has to miss tomorrow's show. And I absolutely. And so, like, when I started chatting with Addie yesterday about the program and Laura, who I've met a few times down the line, you guys have made this really easy. So Addie, thank you, and thank you, Laura. Appreciate it.
I'm going to record that. Anytime I'm down, I'm just going to listen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Anytime
listen to
Drake is crapping on you, just play that, okay?
Oh, here's Drake.
And I was taking shots from the front and the back.
What?
Out of context?
Okay.
That's okay.
That could go a number of ways. Like, my brain is twisted. So was he boofing shots of tequila? Is that what he's saying? Never mind.
Yep. It's Laura, by the way, I got a text last night from Mike, and he goes, okay, I'll bite. Why does it say hashtag touch yourself in the rundown?
It does say, like, because so if you don't know, like, we have basically it's a Google Doc of everything that we can and will talk about. We chart it out and we schedule stuff. Like, we just had Frank Schwab on. He was awesome. You know, I knew that was coming up at 20 after the 8 o'clock hour, and I'm scrolling through just to see what Addie's got on this list. And then it says, touch myself. And I'm like,
yourself.
It says hashtag touch yourself.
Touch yourself.
And I'm like, are we playing the Divinals? Like, is that
touch yourself?
Is that it right there?
Well, yeah, I told Mike, so it's for the listeners out there, for the first month or 2 or 6 of the show, Drake would confuse when you say, like, pinch yourself. This is happening right now. He kept going, touch yourself. And I was like, nope, don't do that.
That's not it.
I was like, please, listeners, please don't do that, actually. Do not do that. But It took me a while for me to tell him, like, hey, it's pinch yourself.
Have you ever heard what Josh Graham, who does overnights on this station or on this network, what he thinks of his producer, Will Dalton? You ever heard of it? What he thinks of him?
No, but I love
Speaking of stupid, Will Dalton.
The guys on this staff are not nice to each other.
Speaking of stupid, Will Dalton.
I don't get it.
I love Will.
I don't know what you guys say about me when I'm not around.
Speaking of stupid, Will Dalton.
Will's like the nicest dude ever, man.
Fight back, Will.
Will.
Roadhouse of the staff here at Westwood One. He's got the best hair of anybody on staff.
He's the Prince of Kakalaki.
Speaking of stupid, Will Dalton.
Gosh, Graham. He's asleep right now, so he can't hear us. Will might be. Will was going nuts because his Carolina Panthers won last night in the Hall of Fame game. So, yeah, this has been really fun, and I appreciate the chance to come on here in the morning and talk. So, what do? We do trivia now to end the show. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
Laura. Cue the music, Laura. Here it is. All righty, we got a good one for you today.
What do we do here?
I'm going to break that down for you right now. We have Mike Wickett versus Laura Jimenez, and we have 5 categories, okay?
Okay.
You just got to say the correct answer. You can say it first or second. As long as you say the correct answer, it's head-to-head trivia. Laura, what's the first category?
History.
History?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Okay.
What
Leviticus.
War? You're very close. What war ended at the Battle of San Jacinto?
I don't.
Spanish-American War.
Laura, you have a guess?
Civil War.
Oh, wow. Please don't clip that. Laura will forget you said that. It was the Texas Revolution.
I don't know anything about Texas.
Well, if you're like me and you're from Texas in 7th grade, you do have to take
Texas is the focus of the biggest song in the country. That Choosing Texas song.
He's from Texas, I can tell.
I'm a Bella fella. Don't worry.
Oh!
All right. Oh,
Laura,
yeah.
what's the next category?
Movies.
Oh, crap. Oh, come on.
Please.
The woman has seen 46 movies this year. I've seen one.
And she hasn't seen Spider-Man, so...
No, that's the one she hasn't seen.
So somebody please call in and bully Laura for a second.
Yes.
Here's your question. In the movie The Matrix, what colored pill does Neo take?
Red.
Woo! Correct!
All right.
Correct, boy wonder.
Yes! Good answer!
I am not going to, Laura, I'm not going to lie to you. I just said a color. I said red or blue.
Blue or red.
I took a 50-50 shot. I was ready to, if I got it wrong, I was going to give you the point. So I that was a guess.
Wow, I'm actually so proud of you. All right, 1-0. Laura, what's the next category?
1-0?
Science.
Ooh, sorry, 1-0. 1-0.
Nil?
Sorry, guys, I watched the World Cup. Science! What occurs when the sun and the moon are in conjunction as viewed from Earth?
An eclipse.
But which
What kind?
Lunar eclipse.
Solar eclipse.
Ah, that goes to Mike.
Yeah!
Good answer.
I do
Good
love
answer.
that Laura said both of them.
Has to be one of them.
She said lunar, then solar, so she gets half a point.
All right, it's 2-0. What's the next category, Laura?
Music.
Ooh. What hard rock British band was once known as the New Yardbirds?
The Who.
Name a rock band. Name a classic rock band, Laura. Name the first one you were about to say right there, Laura.
The
Leviticus.
The Leviticans. The Leviticans.
Leviticans. Right. It was Led Zeppelin.
Ah!
Right.
That was
All right.
not getting that one.
I'll cry about that later on tonight. What's the final category?
Random.
Random?
Yes, it could be anything. How many cylinders did the first generation Dodge Viper have?
8.
8 would be my guess.
Guys, 10.
Wow.
10?
10.
Almost there.
But Mike wins. Mike wins trivia.
I'll take it.
Hurt myself.
What do I win? Do I win anything?
You win. I told you whatever's on my desk at the moment, you win.
I don't want your cat. I'm allergic to your cat, so I don't want that.
These super squishy cats that my cousin gave me.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. Just what I want. A cat.
All right, beggars can't be choosers.
No, I definitely, I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get. All right, there's trivia. What's coming up after me?
You bet with Nick Costos.
Okay, Nick Costos coming up. I just got to make sure. I never know.
But
never
as
know.
what I've been told, Nick Costos is not in. It's Carrington is a sub in for Nick
Carrington?
Costos. Yes, Carrington.
Carrington Harrison?
Carrington Harrison.
My guy C. Dot. I used to work with C. Dot in Kansas City, as a matter of fact.
He's subbing in.
I love how you just said the first name like he's Cher or Madonna.
There aren't a lot of Carringtons. All right.
Yeah.
There's not. Carrington works for the
First
fan in
Carrington I know.
Kansas City. Yeah. I tell Carrington. Maybe he's listening. What's up, Carrington? I'll come back on your show. Carrington would have me on to talk Packers a lot on his show when he was on Sirius and probably on this network as well. So good to know, Carrington. Let's see. Look at this. It's all radio's this big. I'm telling you, everybody in radio knows each other. It's just this big. It happens. All right, so Carrington Harrison coming in for Nick Costos. He's on the other side here on Westwood One Sports. I'm Mike Wickett. And again, we are into the football season. We have finally made it to the football season, which is fantastic. We got there. We got there last night. We got there with a game that normally sucks. Like you heard Frank Schwab, who was just our guest from Yahoo Sports. And he was talking about how just, usually the Hall of Fame game is terrible. And he's right. But yesterday we got maybe about it, the best Hall of Fame game we have ever had, and there was a walk-off.
Game on the line. King, he's going to step up. Pumps, runs, goal line. Is he in? Yes! Carolina wins! Haynes King, king of the night.
Look at him.
Whole team's out there mobbing him.
It's party time in Canton, Ohio. I tell you what, he pulled it out, didn't he? I mean, when he had to have it, take off and run. Let's go to your top skill. And he got it done. Completed great passes.
That's so cool.
Love it. Great night in Canton.
And you know we are officially back. I mentioned this 3 hours ago, but here's how you know the NFL is back. I had a 2-leg parlay. I was setting myself up. I don't bet a lot of dollars. I bet 5 and 10 at a time. It's entertainment for me. I had a $10 parlay. Arizona to score 2 touchdowns and get the win. They march down the field. They punch it in. They go up. And then here comes Haynes King. Goes on a 40-yard scamper on a 3rd down, picks it up, gets inside the red zone, and then eventually with 2 seconds left, snaps the ball and runs it in. You know football season is back when your 2-leg parlay is blown up by a 3rd-string quarterback on a walk-off TD. That's how you know it's back. When you hear Tirico and you hear Collinsworth and you see all the fans, like that was so great last night to be able to watch football again and to know that that's it. We get more games next week. We get more camp updates. We get to the college season. We get week 0. We get everything rolling our way. And it was great to kick it off last night. Here's Haynes King on his game-winning touchdown for the Panthers last night.
Yeah, we were trying to get dig post action on one side, and we had one-on-one on the other. Dropping back, and it just kind of parted, and I was going to try to extend the play because, obviously this is the last play of the game. It just kind of parted, and the linebacker started closing space, and I was like, I can get around him, and that's what happened, and score the ball.
And there was no chance that Carolina head coach Dave Canales was going to kick a field goal to tie the game.
Not a chance, not for a second. No ties, no overtime in the preseason. 4 downs the whole way. Brad knew it, and that kind of is why the nature of some of the calls came out at the end there, because we knew we had an extra down to play with.
Yeah, and the story in this one was Carson Beck, Arizona's quarterback. They took in the 3rd round. The kid played a lot of college football. He was at Georgia. He was at Miami. Goes to the national championship game and showed some stuff. And Frank Schwab said, yeah, but he looked good. He did exactly what you would want Carson Beck to do. But at some point, other teams are going to blitz, and you're not going to see the most vanilla. And that's what you expect. I'm not criticizing anything. But I think you're going to see Carson Beck midway through the season. The Cardinals are going to be 0-11. I mean, their schedule is absolutely brutal. So good to see Beck play well last night. Good to see Haynes King play well last night. Good to see football on last night. And let's just go, man. Let's get it. Let's do it. Thanks to Frank Schwab for joining us, also to Denton Day for coming on the program. This has been a lot of fun. Addie, thank you very much. This has been great.
Of course. Come on. Join us anytime. This was a blast.
You would have to kick Drake out of the seat. Then that would be the Drake Toll show without Drake doesn't really have the same ring. Laura, thank you as well. Appreciate you letting me win the trivia game. Thanks for taking a dive. It's awesome. Carrington Harrison, C-Dot, my guy, in for Nick Costas. You Better You Bet is next. This has been the Drake Toll Show. I'm Mike Wickett. Have a great day here on Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood.